All right, another Crossroads podcast with my homie James the Fountain.
Yay, yay, yay.
What's up this week, bro? What's happening in your world? How's life?
It's good, man. Just kind of settling in, you know.
To the new spot. Yeah, you've been there like a week, maybe?
No, it'll be about a week and a half. It's 2 weeks on Tuesday, tomorrow,
Nice.
which is
Man,
crazy.
yeah. Time time is a strange thing. That's the last dude I was talking to on here. Kronos, he goes by.
Really?
Yeah, and time, man.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, your last spot, you were there for like 3 years or something?
Pretty close. Yeah.
I've been at this place about a year, and I told you that now they're gonna be putting this place on the market like the day after Christmas.
Yep.
So I'm like, who the hell knows? This place could sell in like one day. I don't know. Of course, I think that
I mean, I imagine it'll sell pretty quick.
it could. I'm like, I don't know. There might be some sort of financial reasons why get it in quick.
Yep.
And so yeah, I don't know. We're getting ready to possibly move again.
Mm-hmm.
How is it? You got a bunch of stuff in storage, and you just have some with you, right?
Yeah. It's mostly in storage. Pretty much all I got here is just clothes and studio shit.
How is it living a simpler life now?
Well, like I said, I'm still settling in kind of. Um, and it's not even really bad not having all my shit, but just not having the same amount of space is different.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially even like for one, it's like your space in your room, but then shared living space.
Yeah, and that's not even too bad, but because my room at the apartment, it was bigger than this, but it still wasn't a whole bunch of space. But all I had in there was my bedroom shit.
Right.
So having my studio in my bedroom again is like it is what it is.
True that. At least we can do that nowadays and be like, yo,
Straight up.
portable studio. Pretty much you got a desktop computer now too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and I got these speaker stands too, which they're cool, but they do take up more space.
True that. Dude, what I want to get is the headphones. I need to get sponsors, bro. One day, we're going to get our show.
Raycon.
Yeah, dude, Raycon, or there's some other ones too that are like um they're like studio monitor in ears
Mm-hmm.
that are
Oh yeah.
wireless. Have you
Right.
seen that guitar player guy that's like this all the time? He's always like, where's the glasses?
I don't know. I don't think so.
He's funny. He shreds and he just like makes a bunch of goofy videos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he was talking about them, and I'm like, dude, I would like to have those so that I have can listen to my mixes from my phone.
Yep.
That would be nice.
Straight up.
One day, dude, we'll get those sponsors for the headphones.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I was actually thinking because I was like, how do you get sponsors? I need to Google it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, for podcasts and what kind of degrees if they're like you need to have a large audience or this many subscribers or followers or whatever. I don't
Yeah.
know. So I just need to start to learn that, and then I seen this one chick, a skateboard YouTube girl,
Mm-hmm.
Haley Isaac. I don't know if you ever heard of her.
No, I don't think so.
She's out in LA. I see a bunch of these like LA kind of skateboard vloggers.
Yep.
And yeah, so she was saying something about how she was sponsored by Vans Flow Team for some shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that like she's like, oh, I recently got dropped. And
Yeah.
then she's posted something about maybe wait, Fallen makes shoes?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So about some Fallen talking to them and being like, hey, you guys sponsoring? They're like, yeah, blah blah blah. And I'm like, shit, maybe I just need to start emailing all these people.
For sure. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they all have their different requirements or whatever, but I bet some of them are pretty cool, pretty easy.
Yeah, dude. Well, I'm gonna figure out those ways that we'll be able to monetize the
Yep.
podcast in ways, and just still working on getting the interest
Yeah.
and building the brand of it. But I mean, this is only like the third or fourth one you and I have done together.
Something like that.
Yeah, dude. Once you and I get to like a dozen ourselves,
Right.
and then next thing you know, we're on our way to 100.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, once we get 100 under our belt,
Yeah.
we'll be pretty, have a good idea what we're doing.
What number is this like altogether?
I think this is 32.
Hmm. Hell yeah.
And and sometimes I'll do like one by myself after
Right.
like a stretch of people. Um,
Yep.
but yeah, dude, it's like I was talking in the last one about the community center. I love being able to zoom it,
Right.
but I look forward to a day when we have like something like Joe Rogan's or even like the H3H3 podcast.
Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude.
And
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, so then we could have people in person and we'd be able to just you know
Yeah.
turn it also into sort of a day job
Yep.
in a way.
Dude, yeah. I mean, even before Joe Rogan went to Spotify,
$100 million, baby,
yeah, but even
and
before
a
that,
piece
he
of
was
his
making a
soul.
shit
No,
ton. Yeah, I know.
dude. Yeah, I mean, just off of even YouTube money. If he was making money from like his YouTube videos,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I would
Yeah.
still be listening to Joe Rogan.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
I actually don't listen to any of his Spotify podcasts.
I've listened to a couple just because of the guests, but not the same way I
Reggie Watts.
was. Reggie
You
Watts,
listen to him?
Snoop Dogg was good.
Ooh,
Um,
a new one? A recent one?
yeah, it
I
was
gotta
just
check that.
week or two
Oh,
ago.
I will check that one. I love Snoop.
It's pretty good. Yeah, that one reminded me of the old days because they didn't talk about anything, going any fucking crazy rants about politics and just same shit, but they
Oh
just got
yeah,
high and talked about a bunch of weird shit, so it was pretty cool.
dude, who the hell wants to talk about politics? Like, do politicians even want to talk about politics?
I know.
It was funny, just because my wife was out of town visiting
Yeah.
family at the cabin, and she was saying something about politic talk for a few hours one night, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
oh yeah, between the older folks and the college kids, and I'm like, oh, dude, I bet that was entertaining. It was probably also
Yeah,
like, I don't want to get into that conversation.
for sure. It sucks because you do want to speak your mind about certain things, uh but that's all it takes, man. You just someone will say something and then you reply with one thing and then it's like
I
you
hate them.
it's
No,
down.
I'm just kidding.
Or whatever, you just disagree and be like, well, I don't know, and then it's like, well, I don't know, how about this, and it's just back and forth. Like, it's so I hate it.
Yeah, especially I've just never personally chose one side or the other.
Yeah.
Or people have tried to tell me like, oh, you're a conservative or you're a libertarian or
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I think that you're just trying to define me and
Straight
I'm
up.
undefined. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they want, man. They want people to be fucking wasting their days just arguing back and forth, like, just because you're on the different team. That's all it is just same as like sports and shit. It's team
yeah,
mentality.
dude. Oh, speaking of team, I'm like, okay, I want to build a team eventually. When we have a establishment, I'll be like, okay, we can actually develop a real team of people that's also like getting paid and like part
Yeah.
of the big old machine. But
Yep.
Yeah, dude. I want to do some things like Dude Perfect
Mm-hmm.
or Fantasy Factory,
Yeah.
where it's like that trick shot kind of vibe of like, oh, yo, it's like
Mm-hmm.
fun and having a good time. Those guys, I think they have like a podcast or something.
Probably.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's called Overtime. It's like some sort of, I don't know, probably just a podcast.
Yeah.
Um, but I thought it might be
Huh.
like, look like a sports show. It looked like a,
Mm-hmm.
you know, when they have like the
I could
four
see that.
guys at the network,
Right.
Shaquille O'Neal and Charles Barkley
Oh yeah.
arguing.
Yep. Yep.
Uh, but yeah, it'll be
Yeah.
cool when we have that stuff like in person, and then people will look back on this and be like, I used to listen to them back in the day, just like you're talking
I
Joe
know.
Rogan.
Yeah.
Once we're
The
up to
good
like
old days.
a thousand, dude.
Yeah.
Like Joe Rogan's up in the thousands now, right?
Dude, it's like almost 2000. Just fucking nuts. It's a
Dude,
lot.
he's gotten so lit on some of those.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I know. Just hell, I'm pretty sure the one with Post Malone, they had just eaten some mushrooms,
Yeah, dude, for sure.
and all the ones with Duncan Trussell, they probably do something.
Dude, see, mushrooms are one thing that where I'm like, man, there's something about them that's I do believe in them. I do,
Yep.
with practicing sobriety
Mm-hmm.
and well, I mean, I still have some herb, California sober, I guess
Yeah.
people would call that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's all okay because it fucks with me because I'm like, well, I'm trying to be sober, but I'm trying to, you know, sometimes people would be like, oh, if you get on a prescription medication from a doctor for like
Right.
depression or anxiety or
Mm-hmm.
something, but then you're like maintaining sober living,
Yeah.
but you have like, say you got a ADHD or something, you got a Adderall prescription
Mm-hmm.
or you got a Xanax prescription.
Yep.
It, would people still say that is sober if you're prescribed the medication?
I mean, I guess it depends on, well, because like certain medications, if one person takes them, they'll get fucked up. But if another person takes it, it'll just balance them out or
That is
whatever.
interesting how body chemistry works.
But I mean, yeah, some of those it's a slippery slope. That's why like if you have a history of like painkiller abuse and the
Right.
doctors know that, they won't readily prescribe you that shit.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess that makes me think of that book you were talking about.
Uh-huh.
Habit, what was it called?
Atomic Habits.
Atomic Habits.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, just the name of that book makes me think of like, I mean, you know me, man. I'm a energy freak.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much an energy junkie. But
Right.
how? Yeah, you got the book back there?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, let's check it. So, Atomic Habits, just the name makes me think like the energy and like the patterns that our minds form or how it moves through our days.
Well, the
So,
whole basis of the book is how small changes can lead to like big results.
uh huh.
Um, the very first part had something pretty interesting. It says atomic, and it just gives the definition: an extremely small amount of a thing, the single irreducible unit of a larger system. And the second definition is the source of immense energy or power.
Mm.
Uh,
Ooh.
yeah, pretty good, man. I read about pretty close to half of it just today.
Holy, you're probably gonna finish that thing up, huh? All right, go
Yeah,
Mowgli.
I mean, it's
Go,
my
Mom.
cousin's book, so I'm trying to read it quick.
Yeah, true that. Dude,
But
that's dope.
I would like to buy it just so I could reread it because there's some good shit in there, man.
You said you were thinking about wanting to read that book.
Yeah, I came across a video of it a while ago, and then just recently I came across a video of it,
Hmm.
and it's just kind of in line with a lot of stuff I've thought about in the past, you know?
Oh, trying to create better habits?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's definitely through the years that I've known you,
Mm-hmm.
I've seen you go through some changes
Yeah.
and making your own personal changes. Like, you know what? Because I've seen you go through periods where you'd be like, I'll quit smoking, or I'm gonna quit drinking, or I'm gonna go on a workout binge, and get
Yeah.
build those healthy lifestyles.
Mm-hmm.
And I would imagine that was your intention too behind moving, starting a new life, starting fresh again.
Yeah. Yeah, one of the things it talks about in there is just how much your environment affects your habits, you know, um, and how it's a lot easier to form good habits and shed bad habits like in a new environment.
Mm-hmm.
And it's part of the reason why, like, when people go to rehab and they come back
Mm.
just to the same place.
They might fall back into the same pattern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just because all the same cues are there.
Bro,
Yeah.
that's why I don't ever go back to Great Falls.
Oh, for sure, dude.
Because I love Great Falls,
Yep.
hometown, but I'm like, dude, it's just, it's just not good for me to probably be living there. I don't know why. I've just
Mm-hmm.
gone through a lot of those times in my life. I was making very bad decisions too. When I was, cause you know me, I was like, I never smoked or drank,
Yeah.
never wanted to like get fucked up.
Right.
I was like, nah, dude, I'm cool sober. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and then, honestly, the reason I even started smoking weed was because I was depressed. And I
Yeah.
went on an antidepressant for a while, and I didn't like it, like a pill or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tried smoking weed, and I just liked smoking weed. Like I felt like
For sure.
connected to myself or something.
Yep. Yep.
Felt like I could explore my mind or myself or my soul. I could like soul search. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and then the alcohol. Because
Yeah.
I smoked weed, but I didn't drink alcohol.
Right.
And then once I started drinking alcohol,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest with you, not very much good at all ever came from it.
No, man.
And I have my family has a bad history with alcohol, and it was just like, man,
Yep.
I'm just. But of
For
course,
sure.
there was the rock star wannabe
Mm-hmm.
within me that was like, dude, you gonna be cool if I could smoke that cigarette, chug that Jack Daniels,
Yeah.
and pretend like you can handle it.
Yeah. Straight up.
uh,
Yeah, man. I mean, I never like I because that was where I started drinking and smoking too. But it never really got that bad. I kind of wish I never really did start smoking like that, at least like that early, you
I
know?
remember, yeah, you would smoke cigarettes because I smoked cigarettes.
Oh, I
Right.
mean, bud.
Oh, smoking herb.
Yeah, just because like it's pretty easy to, at least for me, like if I get into something and I like it, it's pretty easy for me just to like overdo it and do it like every day, all day or whatever, you know.
Yeah, and for me, it's with anything, it's the first thing I think of when I wake up in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and I want it, whatever it is.
Right.
I don't know if it's just the brain of like an addict or somebody that's like, I don't know if it's a human thing or just what it's like. Yo, you know,
Well, it's I mean, yeah, it's human nature, just like, you know, I mean that is one thing that this book does talk about is just the whole like uh cue and response and reward aspect of habits, you know. If there was no reward, then you wouldn't do anything, you know.
Oh, for
So
sure, yeah.
it's basically like everything.
Well,
But
it's funny how sometimes things can be like sort of rewarding, like
mm-hmm,
like cigarettes are probably one of my best examples where it's like, yo, I want my cigarette, man. I'll be smoking on that cigarette, and then I'm like, ooh, actually, I kind of don't want this.
oh dude, for
Or
sure.
I'll be even like still smoking it halfway, and I'm like, God, I don't even want this anymore. It
Yep, yep.
stinks or it tastes bad, but I might as well finish it because I don't want to waste my cigarette.
That, yeah, that was me pretty much every single cigarette I smoked. Like,
Yeah, there's just it's that double-edged sword where it's like it's that love-hate thing.
mm-hmm. Yeah, another thing that this book was talking about was just the anticipation of a reward is like your brain has so many more centers where the anticipation will like light up parts of your brain.
Oh, right,
Then when
like
you actually get it, it's not even.
glorifying as
Well, yeah,
well
yeah.
as it's like when it's like pulsating. Like
Uh-huh.
I remember when I was working a job doing
Mm-hmm.
drywall finishing, and it was my birthday, and homie had a case of beers in the truck, right? Like a
Yeah.
cooler full of Bud Light, and I was just like, oh man, I can hear those beers screaming my name.
Mm-hmm.
And he's laughing. He's like, I've never heard anybody say anything like that. I'm like, what? Like, okay.
Right.
I've heard that a lot. But, you know, that anticipation of like, oh man, I can't wait to get off of work and have that first
For
cold
sure.
beer.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
look, it's going to be good.
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, and then it's just like, I don't know. I sometimes I think back to when I was getting drunk a lot, and when because I was such a drinker that it was like, I mean, it's pretty bad because I would wake up and drink
Mm-hmm.
back probably in those like high school, college days,
Right.
because you're just like, fuck it, man, I'm fucking young, get it.
Yeah. Straight up.
And then it just is like this, I don't know, it becomes like that thing that you become. I became the thing I never wanted to become, and
Right.
it was hard to change
Mm-hmm.
because it was like, oh man, now I have this habit of I wake up in the morning, I have a cigarette and a cup of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and then I can take a shit. No,
Right. Yeah.
I don't even feel like shitting until then. No,
Uh-huh.
uh, or just whatever. It's those little things that after I'd have becomes like a ritual,
Yeah.
and those patterns develop, and then it's like, okay, how do I repattern? So that's what this book must be about. Those like how to repattern your brain, sort of, or something.
Yeah, yeah. It breaks down like how habits are formed in the first place
Hmm.
and how you can uh how to add good habits and how to shed bad habits. And that was one of the things it was talking about is like I think they called it habit stacking, where it was like if you want to do something positive, then you stack it with a habit that you already have. So like you said, like I wake up and I have coffee, and then say you want to like meditate, then you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna meditate every day after I turn on the coffee pot or something.
Mm-hmm.
So like you have a set place and time where you're going to be already anyways. But yeah, it's a lot of different things like that. One thing you're saying too is like how you didn't want to like be that type of person.
Mm-hmm.
um And it was just talking about like the identity part of, pretty much that's that's everything. Every habit or everything that you do, every choice that you make is adding to your identity in a positive or negative way.
Dude. And so, as an artist,
Mm-hmm.
I'd think of my identity. I used to go by that name, sort of identity,
Right.
and we'd go through these whole like self-reflective times of like, who am I, or who am I supposed to be, or who am I to these people? So then the thoughts of like my image to the people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of like where you kind of like feed into it. It'd be like, okay, well, the rock star thing, the drink, the smoke, the party, the this or that,
For sure.
and then it
Yep.
becomes you, and then even how it is in the media
Yeah.
with you know Lil Peep
Mm-hmm.
or Juice World. We were talking about Juice World.
Yeah.
Dude, habits, bro. That leads perfectly into Juice World because
Yeah.
that honestly, I'm actually still a big fan of Juice World.
Yeah. Definitely.
But I don't even know. You said a new album came out or is coming out?
Yeah, I think it dropped yesterday. I haven't
Posthumous. What is it called?
Fighting Demons, which
Oh,
who
dang.
knows, there is a song on there called Fighting Demons, but you know how those things go, like who knows how much of it they're actually cool with releasing.
I always wonder that because it's like, yo, there could definitely be songs in the bank or verses. Like, I'm sure he would go in and just
Oh yeah,
freestyle over beats for days,
definitely. Yep.
and that's all archived in people's computers, probably all over the place. And I'm sure that they
Straight
even
up.
have their own, you know, drive full of stuff. So they
Well,
might
this
just
is the
chop it
second
up and
one. They already had the first one.
legends never die.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know, dude. And they always have to have these fucking weird entendres, right? Of course.
Well,
Of
I
like,
think I think that was a song too, but yeah,
right,
he
yeah.
didn't talk a lot about that shit.
I know. It always, well, dude, Juice WRLD, when I be down my conspiracy theory rabbit holes,
Hmm.
head full of acid and too much whiskey, down a rabbit hole, you
Yeah.
know? God. And,
Yep.
I'd be like down the Juice World rabbit holes. Um, you may have seen that thing. Did you ever see the little Instagram thing where he's like, yo, all right, I'm gonna go sell my soul to the Illuminati?
I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, there was some like Instagram thing of him doing that out there in like a field and like a circle with a fire and candles.
Right.
I was like, oh, be careful, because
Yeah.
uh, just because some when you're playing with fire,
Hmm.
you know, could be
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, dude, even the thing that because I was like, when I seen the TikTok challenge
Which one?
of they were doing Juice World song, um,
Hmm.
Lucid Dreams.
Right.
But there was a trend where they would like seizure out.
What?
Yeah,
That's fucked.
dude. I'm like, if you get a million people across the globe to do a seizure dance to a Juice WRLD song, and then this dude dies from a seizure, that sounds like some witchcraft to me.
So that happened before he died.
Yeah,
Oh fuck!
and I'm like, dude,
I didn't know that.
that's call it a coincidence, but it's that energy type thing. When I think, oh, if you're putting energy out there with these thoughts, it
Yep.
could be a cause and effect thing. I don't know.
Man.
And I don't want to think that way, but there's a part of my brain that analyzes things that way, and
Yeah.
yeah, you just always wonder with the posthumous records, you know, if they're doing it justice, if they're doing him justice or his family.
Right.
Like with Peep, I think his mom gets like royalties or something.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's in control of
The Enterprise,
the
Lil Peep
estate. Yeah.
estate. Yeah.
But it is still pretty weird to like, because I still follow Lil Peep on, Twitter and Instagram, and it is weird to see that in your notifications. Like Lil Peep tweeted for the first time in a while, because she'll still tweet, like announcements and shit.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But it's pretty weird.
I know, dude, and it's super sad because they were so young,
Yeah.
like 19, 20-year olds or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Dude, yeah, it's that Juice World. I did check out the new song, Burn.
I haven't heard it yet.
That's pretty dope. Oh yeah, because I seen a trailer for a documentary coming out about him.
Okay. Hmm.
Because I'm like, damn, dude, he lived a pretty energized life for
Well,
a few years.
he was fucking blowing up. Like Lil Peep was blowing up, but Juice World was like really blown up.
Yeah, and he would get on like different things in freestyle forever.
Yeah.
Have you seen those?
Oh yeah. He's nuts.
Yeah. So that probably really helped with his spread into like the rap community.
Yeah.
Cause he was still on that kind of emo punk wavelength,
Mm-hmm.
which I
Yeah.
love.
I was pretty surprised the first time I heard him do that freestyle shit, because he doesn't really rap like that in his music. He can fucking rap.
Dude, yeah, his music's more melodic
Mm-hmm.
and like kind of singy.
Yeah. Yeah.
He plays guitar too.
I've never seen that.
Yeah, I don't think he really does it like live or anything much. I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
but I would see him playing a guitar, which I thought was cool.
Yeah, that's dope.
Yeah, he looks like Jamrock to me.
I could see that.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, doppelganger.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, Juice World.
Yeah.
What a weird name.
I know.
And I always wonder, like, with the dropping the O,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know.
just stuff like that makes it work. You know, like the
For
forever
sure.
thing.
Right. Yep.
That's the Busty shirt.
Yep.
That's the first one I've actually seen. I've seen some other stuff online, but
Yeah.
like a skateboarding kind of crew or brand out there.
Yeah, pretty much. um, there's like there's one skate shop here in town, and they sell some of their shit, which is pretty cool.
Dope, dude. So yeah, that's a plan too with the community center.
Mhm.
Well, we'll have a shop in the front, and we'll also have our skate shop.
Right.
And I think I could, could develop like a team and make videos, put on
Mm-hmm.
competitions every year,
Right.
maybe even some skate classes. Could get like I was thinking, you know, be like hit up Ryan Simonetti,
Yeah.
hit up Jeff Ament.
Yep.
Uh, fuck, I was thinking about hitting Tony Hawk up.
Yeah.
I hit him up for a cameo.
Right.
That was rad, dude. I almost cried.
Yeah.
I was like
I've seen that.
I was like getting sober at that
Mm-hmm.
time. So you know me, I'm like all emotional getting sober.
Right.
I'm like, fuck. It's so weird how, like, I don't know, just how those little struggles can be
Mm-hmm.
so fucking big. You know,
Well,
like
I mean,
seem really big, you know?
I think it's a big thing, because that was something I was thinking about for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like it didn't really ever get too bad with me, but it was kind of like a slow build. But even after Chris and Daisy passed, yeah,
Yeah.
I didn't. It still didn't really get too bad, um, but it wasn't good, and I just kind of knew in the back of my mind that I was like, I should probably like just at least like detox, just get my mind clear and all that.
Yeah.
But I didn't, I didn't for a couple years, and it was just something that I always thought about, and I tried it a couple times, But I seen you doing it, and you know that inspired me. So we both kind of did it around the same time.
Yeah, dude. Well,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, we're definitely like very similar types of people,
Yeah.
and you know, I guess okay, you love Lil Peep, and
Mm-hmm.
I'll see him sometimes in his videos, and I'm just like, yeah, you're rad, but man, I'll just think like, God, you're so unhealthy,
Yeah.
like, and you're so talented,
Yep.
or, but he looks so frail
Yeah.
sometimes, where I'm like, man, it's so hard when that's kind of like what's kind of becomes like you'd say the identity thing of like where it really became kind of a part of Juice World and Lil Peep's like music.
Yeah.
It's like,
Well, I'm sure it's pretty hard to, even though both of them probably knew they were going to die young,
mm-hmm,
it's probably pretty hard to change when, even though you're being like completely honest about it and you're kind of like crying for help, everyone else is like, fuck yeah, that's badass. Like,
and then they just keep feeding you it.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be
Yeah,
near
dude.
impossible to quit.
And that's the thing that really scares me about record labels too is it's like
Mm-hmm.
you never know, dude. There's dirty people out there that just like what would happen back in the day where they'd be like, oh, like the conspiracy of Jimi Hendrix's money and like his manager stealing
Yep.
all the money and
Yep.
them being so fucked up all the time that they weren't even really aware,
Mm-hmm.
like the rock stars.
Yeah,
And
dude.
then also, because there's a conspiracy about that. I don't know if you ever heard about. Uh, there's some story where people are like, no, he was actually like fed a bunch of wine, like a
Mm-hmm.
jug of wine, like literally. I'm like, God, I don't know. But that's what I would worry about. Getting fucked up, dude. That was it. How Hendrix died.
Yeah,
The puking during sleep, uh, or
dude.
asphyxiate or something like that.
Yeah, yeah. It just means choking,
Yeah.
dude. I had a pretty scary thing happen to me, and it wasn't that long ago. I think it might have been like pretty recent. Like when I had quit, it was pretty recent. But I swear to God, I almost fucking died, dude. Like I just woke up and I don't know what I ate before, but like that's how it happens. Like you fucking you puke and choke on your vomit, But yeah, I woke
Mm-hmm.
up and like I could not breathe, dude. And I like, I'm alone in my apartment and I'm like getting up and just like pacing around trying to
Oof.
breathe, and it fucking it scared the shit out of me, man.
Dang, man. Yeah, dude. That's I mean, that's actually the first time we actually spoke on the podcast, even about Chris and Daisy.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, dude, for me in my life,
Mm-hmm.
when and I guess, I mean, you could feel free to fill people in that will listen, but that sent a shockwave to me
For sure.
when that
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, dude. I mean, it was it was crazy, dude. Like, people die all the time and shit, but I feel like it really sent a shockwave like to people that didn't even know us or know them, like
Yeah. Well, you were with her for like a year or something, huh?
yeah, it was pretty crazy. She actually died a day before our 1 year anniversary, which was pretty
What?
nuts. Yeah.
Oh my god. That's
Yep,
actually heartbreaking. Like, actually, really. Dude,
for sure.
that's like some movie. Like, life is so fucking crazy. The timing of things. So, okay.
Hmm.
So, yeah, she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Like, you guys got pregnant, like, right away.
Pretty quick. Yeah, yeah. I mean, like,
Dude.
because part of that, part of our year, like we hadn't even met yet. It was just like long distance type shit, you
Yeah,
know?
communicating through like the internet and
Yeah.
phones.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, and then like we met and just started living together, and she got pregnant right away. It was actually kind of funny how it happened because like we were trying not to get pregnant, you know.
Yeah,
She
for sure.
was, but she was using like this app where it was like a cycle tracker,
Uh huh.
and I'm like, do you really trust that thing? And of course it didn't fucking work.
Right.
So
You
yeah,
just
so
got the
that
super semen. No.
like fuck this app, I don't know shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so like after that we're like, all right, let's we got a place together and moved up here to Kalispell. And yeah, it was kind of just like a freak thing, you know. It was
Yeah. It all
pulmonary
happens.
embolism.
Which is, what are you doing, Kayliana?
uh
Uh, Crawling. I can definitely see you crawling back there. Okay. Jeez, I'm
nice.
blushing for you. I'm like, oh god.
Might as
The
well just
first
walk
time my
back.
wife appears on the podcast is her crawling in the
That's
background.
awesome.
She's she's the bar wench. Don't
Yeah.
mind her. No. That was the dog.
That didn't work.
No. Oh, guess who? No.
Okay. That's
uh,
funny.
no, that's ironic because okay, it was the
Yeah,
pulmonary
pulmonary
what?
embolism.
Embolism. So yeah, it was a thing in her leg or something.
Yeah, that's how it starts. Like it's basically like starts out as a circulation thing, and like you get a blood clot. I mean, it's could be anywhere, but most of the time it starts in your legs, and it'll dislodge, end up in your heart, and then your lungs are basically starved of oxygen rich blood, so your lungs just kind of slowly die basically. So yeah, it was fucked up, man.
Yeah, dude. I am. It will always be a part of me. It's
Yeah.
crazy. Like I can only imagine being you, and that's why I was like, dude. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it. You know, and honestly, and another reason I feel for you so much is you're my bro, you're my homie. You know,
For sure.
and uh, in my life, not to make that about me, it sent me into a depression even further
Mm-hmm.
with that happening to you.
Yeah.
Because it was like things were looking bright, the future was looking bright. You guys got into a house, you had a good relationship, baby on
Yep.
the way, and then
Mm-hmm.
it
Yeah.
just like that, like just
Yep.
happened one day, right? It just all of a sudden, oh dude, okay, so with my son having this rash
Mm-hmm.
breakout and being kind of sick, it made me think of you actually today or last night.
Yeah.
Just I was just going to take him into urgent care and stuff like that, and
Yep.
it just made me think of when that happened to you and Chris, and you rushed to the hospital,
Yep.
but there were different hospitals.
Yeah. So what had happened was because I didn't know what was going on. Like,
Dude, I was in a little panic because my
mm-hmm.
son, but I would imagine you to be in even more of a panic,
Well,
you know.
yeah. So what happened was like I was in the shower,
Mm-hmm.
and she was calling my name, and I didn't know what was going on. It looked like she was like having a seizure or something. So I called 911 right away, and I'm like, like my girlfriend looks like she's having a seizure, and they were just like totally calm about it, and obviously, but because a seizure isn't that bad, like it's not something that you're just gonna die from.
Right.
But so that's what they thought when they arrived, and so they kind of calmed me down a little bit, and then um I could, they got there and all that, and then they were working on her, checking her out and everything. And like I could tell that they started to get like freaked out, you know.
Right,
And
because
so
she's pregnant and she was pretty due soon. Like,
yeah, she was like 8 months pregnant.
mm, so just around the bend.
Yeah. And that's what sent me to another hospital because her obstetrician was in the town over,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like, all right, just send her to OB. So in my mind, I'm thinking they're sending her to her OB, which like
Mm-hmm.
makes no sense. But you know, like I was fucking panicking. So
Mm-hmm.
I drove all the way to Whitefish, which is like, it's not super far, but it's the next town over. It's like 10, 15 miles, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Um, yeah. And I get there and I'm like, I'm looking for Kristen Hall. And they're like, well, we don't know, you know, she's not here. And I'm just like, fuck, I'm just like freaking out. And they could see that I was freaking out. So they checked out where she was. And obviously I lived like seriously like 6 blocks away from the hospital. Like it was right there.
Ah,
And yeah, so I don't even know why they let me drive. Like
well,
I
it's
was,
easy to see how that could happen, especially when you're just kind of like frazzled,
yeah.
you know? Like, dude, oh, pregnancy's fucking scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Definitely.
it's just scary, you know? All
Yeah,
that
just in general.
human bodies, life, death, and you know, it was so. To me, what happened to you was like the things that nobody ever actually imagines will happen to them. Not only do they not imagine it, it never does happen. It's like it
Yeah.
just seems so rare. It's probably more common than I think,
It,
but
it definitely does happen, you know, but it's not, it is
it's
rare.
like a
Like,
movie thing, you know, where it's like you see it in the movies.
mm-hmm.
You know, it's like the tearjerker main plot, like
Dude,
twist of the movie where it's like,
there actually is a movie that's super close to that. It's a Kevin Hart movie.
hmm,
Uh, it's called Fatherhood, and I didn't know it was about that. Like just from the previews, it was just like something happened to the mom, and he had to raise the kid himself. You know,
mm-hmm,
but that's what it was. It was she had a pulmonary embolism.
mm,
Um, so it is more common, or like it's being pregnant can make that more of a possibility. You know, so it
yeah.
definitely does happen. But yeah,
Oof, man, I
I,
can't believe it happened to you. Like, can't believe it happened to her. And,
mm-hmm.
you know, and Daisy, that's just, you know, so, you know,
Yeah,
rest in peace and all love to them, man. You got the tattoo, right?
for sure.
You
Yeah,
got the,
I mean, yeah, that's what the teardrops are for. Um, got one for Daisy.
nice. Yeah, that one was,
Got this
in
one
Helena.
for Chris. Yep,
Nice.
yep.
Yeah, dude, man. And it's, well, I guess that's probably one of the biggest things, too, getting out of that apartment was probably, you were probably surrounded by a lot of Chris's stuff and just like pictures of, which of course, I mean, of course you want to like keep it and hold on to these things, but at the same time you
Mm-hmm.
probably also want to just move forward in your life. And
For sure. Yeah.
how has it been even so far with all that? Just
Well, I mean, like for the first
how is it
year,
even moving it out? Just like gotta go.
yeah. I mean, like I was gonna say, like the first year, like I didn't really touch anything, you know.
Mhm.
And everybody's different. Some people will be like, I have to get it all out right now. Like I can't even look at it.
Mm.
But you know, I I didn't really want to change much, and it just felt comfortable, you know. So like I didn't really change much, but like over time I slowly moved stuff out and didn't have so many pictures up and stuff like that, you know.
Right.
Just because for me, like I don't really have a problem like, you know, talking about it and acknowledging it and stuff. Um, but just like other people when they come over, it might make them kind of uncomfortable, you know, and like I don't want to do that.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
So
well, it's been 3 years now, ish.
it'll be 3 years in May. So
Oh, May of the next year.
yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, man. I mean, it's just such a heavy thing, and you know,
Yeah.
it's amazing though. Like, just I don't know, gives you a whole nother kind of perception of life, and
Yeah.
well, I'm
For sure,
glad that
man.
you've pushed through all that, man, because
Yeah,
it's not
man.
easy, and
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people don't even. Like I said, man, it's so rare that
Yeah.
it's just. I fucking love you, bro.
I
Just
love
know
you too,
that,
brother.
okay?
Definitely. Oh, I know. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. It's
that was
you
the last
know,
time I seen you there. Before we went to Hollywood, pretty
um
much.
that's yeah.
I seen you. I came up
Mm-hmm.
for the funeral,
Yep.
and then
Yep.
was that the last time I seen you?
Uh
Before going to LA,
mm-hmm.
I think it was. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
man, that's crazy. Yeah, you were there for a while. It's gonna be a whole nother chapter now.
Yeah, man. It's cool. Like it's kind of weird right now because, you know, um I know it's good and I know it's gonna be good, but can't help like just that this part of me kind of feels like I'm going backwards, even though I know I'm not, like,
Oh yeah.
but just in like the temporary spot I'm in, it's like somebody else's house and not as much space and like, looking for a new job and it's just like just this little tiny I know, like I said, I know it's temporary, but so yeah, just settling into that whole idea and you do take it for granted having like a whole apartment to yourself and you could do whatever you want and like, you
Oh
know.
yeah. Yeah, true that.
So
Yeah, for sure. Well, I'm sure that you know new good things will come. And in my mind,
mm-hmm.
what I'm trying to get figured out in the next year is this community center. Like, it's pretty much my main focus because I'm like, look, this is gonna be my actual real like day job is maintaining this place
Yeah.
and everything that we do out of here. It'll just be like all the stuff that I do from home,
Mm-hmm.
crank it up to the next level at an establishment, and then get other people on board that can help with it. And I think that if I set up the company right as a social enterprise,
Yeah.
it's like a nonprofit type business,
Right.
then I'll be able to like employ some people, which is my goal. Where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
look, I just want to start off with a small crew. Where in my mind, I'm like, yo, like me and my wife and James.
Yep.
If you're around here in the area still, or
Mm-hmm.
something like that, where I'm like, yo, I want to be able to. Because in my mind, I'm like, we're gonna have to develop some things in the beginning
Yeah.
and build, and
Yep.
but the whole intention of it too is to be like, no, we enjoy this work too.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
all the stuff we do out of here, it's like we actually really enjoy it.
Yep.
So that's the
Straight up.
problem I faced with a lot of jobs I would have is I was like,
Mm-hmm.
dude, I don't like doing this.
Yeah.
Or if it was the person I worked for,
Yep.
you know, depending on, well, I've worked for cool people and I've worked for not cool people. So
Yeah. Yeah. For sure.
yeah.
Yeah. I think, because like I've done construction type shit for the past few years, and I really love, use my hands and building shit and using tools and just like learning how things work in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
But having those types of jobs, like you said, like depending on who you work for and what the job itself is, like it kind of makes you not like it as much. And
Yeah, if it becomes your everyday thing. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a good business. Like I was doing the drywall business. I actually ran into a buddy from work today. I think you met him like once or something.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, cause I was doing the drywall business for a couple years, working for a boss,
Right.
and his son was a little hard. He would be cool, but he was also a little hot headed,
Mm-hmm.
kind of hard to deal with. And I was like, dude, fuck this. I'm out of here. I'm going independent. You know.
Yeah.
So then do the subcontracting and independent work. And I run into homie today, and I was like, "Yo, how you been, man? How's life? You still taping?" I could tell, you know.
Yeah.
And most people, if you're gonna get in the business, it's a life business.
Yeah.
You know, like if you're gonna go gung ho and get all the tools in that
Mm-hmm.
field, then
Yep.
yeah. And it was good to hear that they're doing well with it. I also heard of some guys that I used to work with that aren't doing too well because they got strung out.
Yep.
So hopefully they ain't still doing that. But
Straight up.
that's something very common in construction too, man. These
Mm-hmm.
guys get all strung out on speed.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I know, man.
God. And then it's just like, people might think, oh, rock and roll, drugs and rock and roll. And it's
Right.
like, shit, there's drugs every business you get into.
Oh yeah.
And
Straight up. Yep.
but yeah, it's good. It's just after, dude. I remember waking up days being like, oh my god, I can't move my body.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was
For
just
sure, dude.
so, and I was young,
Yeah. Yeah.
20 something.
Yep. It don't matter, dude. If you haven't done, I mean, you could. It doesn't matter really. Like if you don't use those muscles, and then you go to your first couple, even your first day, like you use like all these muscles that you've never used, and you're gonna be fucking hurting for the first
Yeah.
week.
Well, even after doing it regularly,
Yeah, for
I
sure.
would still be like, oh my god,
Yep.
fucking, dude, walking around on stilts sometimes, that shit was fucking dangerous
Oh yeah.
and scary because we're working with the mud.
Yep.
So I'd be like, slip, fuck.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We've fallen.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
man. And I'm just like, dude, you know what? I just, to be honest, I loved a lot of the guys I worked with.
Hmm.
I just really hated the work after so long, and I was like, I just don't want
Yeah.
to do this for the rest of my life. Like,
Straight up.
so I'm gonna have to switch it up. And
Yeah.
like you said, it's good to learn those skills, though.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, yeah, dude. Like, I've always grown up around like woodworking, carpentry type shit, and I've always wanted to learn how to do like at least basic type shit. Um.
And dude, in my mind, first thing when we get, because the goal is just to get a building.
Hmm.
If find the owner and a price that they're willing to rent it out, and maybe if they want to help us develop, cool. But
Yeah.
uh, I've heard about some people that do some like rent to own stuff,
Hmm.
which ultimately be the goal. But
Yep.
I'm like, yo, we get a big old warehouse. We could build a few studios
Yeah.
in there. Just get a few rooms built
Yep.
if needed.
Yeah, dude. I mean, that shit's not hard. Like.
Yeah, for sure. To build like a couple rooms, I'm sure the
Hmm.
establishment will already have some bathrooms. So I'm like, look, I
Yeah.
could hire in some other guy. I'm gonna hire in guys,
Hmm.
and I'll just help a little bit.
Right.
But I'm like, look, if I'm getting grant money
Hmm.
and loans, I'm gonna hire some pros
Yeah.
that like, cause I did it professionally, drywall finishing for 5 years, but the I was like, dude, I'm not the best. Like with
Well.
the overall, like I was like, look, there's some guys that really know their shit when it comes to building houses.
Well, that's one good thing about having just like those skills is even if you never use them again, like what good work looks like.
Hmm.
So like if you do hire people and they do a shitty job,
Yeah,
you could be like, this ain't right, man.
yeah. See, the framing, I've never learned framing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, sure, I can hang drywall and finish it for
Yeah.
sure. But framing, I've never been a framer
Mm-hmm.
or really an electrician. I've like worked with
Right.
electricity, but never been like, yo, I'm installing the
Straight
fucking
up.
power.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do want to learn that all, and it's just like I've realized that I might be good at coordinating and like finding the funds to
Yep.
make things happen, and then I can just get all the people
Oh yeah.
necessary to do the other stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
For sure. I feel that.
yeah, because I'm like, look, I've realized I don't want to be a jack of all trades either,
Right.
and
Mm-hmm.
it'd be cool to do artistic stuff out of there. Yeah. But the
Yeah.
building skateboard ramps,
Mm-hmm.
that should be pretty cool too.
That'd be fun. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, and I figured if I was able to do some fundraising and grant stuff that, cause Tony Hawk has a foundation for skate parks too.
That's right.
So I was like, I might be able to chop a slice out of that pie.
Yeah.
Cause I'm like, dude, we could use an indoor one.
Mm-hmm.
Like now that skateboarding's in the Olympics, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Uh, have you ever launched into a foam pit?
No, I want to.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, we'll build a foam pit,
Mm-hmm.
an actual vert ramp one day.
Yep.
I've never ever even skated a vert ramp.
No.
I'm too scared to even drop in on a vert ramp.
Like an actual vertical ramp.
I've half pipe. I've skated half pipe,
Right. Yeah.
and Matt Robertson had a dope half pipe.
Right.
I hope he still has it.
Yeah.
Um, but that's why I figured we'd build a good half pipe, and
Mm-hmm.
then like a mini ramp,
Right.
maybe even a baby ramp. So
Mm-hmm.
yo, this is for the kids that are like learning how to skateboard,
Yeah.
and then just build like a street section,
Yep. Straight up.
and I don't know, dude. Just do some dope artwork.
Mm-hmm.
You ever see any skateboarding YouTube channels at all?
Um, I mean, I watch like the Street League
Uh huh.
shit a lot. Um, some of the barracks stuff.
Right.
Like
Yeah. Barracks is so well. Steve Barra is so controversial in
yeah,
skateboarding. You know.
right.
But the barracks is dope. I've always wanted to go there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dude.
Have you heard of the Braille skateboard?
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys are pretty funny.
Dude, I'm trying to be like them too.
Yeah.
Like once we get this place built,
Yep.
and we can be like, yo, we got our skateboards here, we got our skate park, we make fucking YouTube videos like every day out here,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
Yep.
be able to do those fun things too, where they'll be like, look at this weird ass skateboard.
Straight up.
Um,
Yeah.
that dude's a Scientologist.
Really?
I'm pretty sure the dude that founded Braille.
Weird.
I can't remember his name right now, which,
Me neither.
but yeah, dude. I mean,
Hmm.
I
I didn't
am
know that.
honest, dude. I am honestly, you know me, dude. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated by religion as well
Yeah.
because
Yep.
they all fascinate me.
Oh yeah.
And dude, fucking Scientology. Have you ever looked into it much?
I mean, I think it's I think it's pretty interesting, and I've definitely seen I've seen videos and stuff on it, but I don't think I've ever actually like really looked into it.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched some things. I've never like read Dianetics or
Right.
anything. I kind of want to though, just to like understand, because
Mm-hmm.
I've read, just into various different religions or religious texts. But
Yeah.
yeah, Scientology is just interesting because First of all, L. Ron Hubbard being from Helena, I find that interesting.
I think he lived in Kalispell for a minute too.
Probably did, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then,
Or no, I think he was born in Kalispell.
yeah, because he was only lived here in like childhood for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And then just like first of all the ideas of
Yeah.
the Scientology.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, dude, these are far out.
What's
Like,
what's weird to me about it is like there it is super far out, and but it's not really that much weirder than any other religion, but just the fact that it's so new,
yeah.
like,
Well, the
and so many
what do they
people
say?
follow it.
Yeah, the whole like the Thetan thing, like about your soul
Mm-hmm.
or multiple souls,
Yeah.
or it is all interesting, and that's where I'm like, look, I do believe that there is like you could find the truth in anything, like
Mm-hmm.
you could read anything like, yeah, that's kind of, oh, I understand this,
Right.
or I agree with this, or I don't agree, I don't know, but
That's how they get you.
yeah, dude, but it's just crazy. What fascinates me about Scientology as well is how powerful they are.
I know.
Where I'm like, dude, okay, what the hell's going on here? Where it's this weird like Hollywood cult, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like when we went to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
and Scientology's right next door,
Yeah.
and I'm like, whoa, dude, this is just kind of like weird. Like I wanted to go in there
Mm-hmm.
and like get some pamphlets or something and be like, yeah, dude, I want
Right.
to just cause. But then it's also like, no, don't, because you hear all these Leah Remini on Joe Rogan
Yep.
being like, yeah, I got, get involved and they'll make you a celebrity and famous, and then if you want out, then they'll hunt down your family.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, what?
Well, there's that one where it was like the whoever the director is now, or whatever they call him. They think they some people think that they fucking killed his wife.
It
Like
always has to lead into murder
she's
eventually.
just been missing, dude. Like nobody knows where she is.
Oh, just like Carol Baskin's
Yeah,
husband. They still haven't
yeah.
found him, huh?
No, no, he died in a plane crash. Remember?
Oh, I thought he was fed to the tigers and he's in the septic tank.
No, yeah, but that's her story. Is he took off on a plane?
Right, yeah, ran away. And
Mm-hmm.
which I don't know, dude. Like I could literally see them making a deal together, and him being like, you know what,
Mm-hmm.
fucking done with you, bitch.
Yeah,
I got this young mama in the Bahamas.
right.
How about we fake my death because I owe like all these other people a bunch of money too,
Yep, yep.
and we both get in on it, and Bob's your uncle or whatever.
Yeah, no
I don't
shit.
know. It could have been.
I don't know.
It's just like all these people, where people even say that about Lil Peep or Juice World, where it's like, oh, they faked his death. Juice World would say that, right?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to get like famous and then disappear.
Well, I remember before he died, there was this fake article going around. It was before he died. Um, a fake article that he died. So which that was like trending pretty quick. Um, and then it was a little while after that. It wasn't very long. Someone messages me and they're like, "Yo, did you hear Juice World died?" And I'm like, "No, that's not real. That's that was fake. He's still alive, but he actually did die that
Hmm.
time."
Yeah. Well, fuck. That's the fucked up thing is if you become like a really successful, influential person like that, they're always gonna have that thought, just like Jim Morrison or Elvis or whatever, where they're
Yep.
like, oh, they're still alive.
Yeah.
I talked to you about the Rush Limbaugh.
Mm,
There's a conspiracy theory that they think Jim Morrison. Well, okay, basically, Jim Morrison's father
mm-hmm.
was. Have you seen that Gulf of Tonkin?
Yeah.
Yeah, his father was like a something to do with this Gulf of Tonkin thing that was like a
Mm-hmm.
false flag operation to invade Vietnam. they say.
Right. Yep.
So then the deep web, deep state, they're like, the Doors was really just a CIA operation.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, guys, like, digging pretty deep into here. So that's what they say. Oh, he faked his death and now he's Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah.
Just like Bill Hicks is Alex Jones.
I was just gonna say that. They do look alike though.
Yeah. Have you heard Jimi Hendrix is Morgan Freeman?
What?
Yeah,
No way.
I guess.
Morgan Freeman was alive when Jimi Hendrix was alive.
Right,
He's like
yeah.
in movies.
Just like when Snoop Lion, remember Snoop Lion?
Uh-huh.
He's like, yo, sometimes I feel like I am Bob Marley reincarnated, although he died when I was already born.
Yeah. That's so dumb. Like, bro.
How high are you? No.
Yeah.
I've thought that too. That's like the Thetan thing, though, like Scientology,
Mm-hmm.
where it'd be like, okay, what if your spirit? It's like quantum immortality, right? You're talking.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like in Scooby Doo when they touch the, I don't know, they touch that little artifact,
Oh yeah.
and it makes their souls leave their bodies,
Right.
and then they can like jump into different bodies.
Yeah.
Dude, that's how I would feel though. Like, I am not actually shitting you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so one time when I was getting off of booze, I was probably on a binge for like years.
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta get off this shit. And what even made me start thinking that way was LSD.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be like tripping on psychedelics, thinking, you know what? You should stop drinking alcohol. It's really not good for you.
Yeah.
And so then I'd be microdosing, and I was getting off alcohol and tobacco, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the idea was like, okay, then eventually I'm gonna get off this microdose, because I'm gonna run
Right.
out anyways, and then I'm not gonna be able to. I guess I could always get it, but I really shouldn't.
Yeah.
And but that was the idea and the intention behind it. I was like, I'm gonna fix my brain, reprogram it. That's what I would do, is be like, okay, I'm gonna eat acid, meditate, and reprogram my thoughts.
Yep.
And shit, where was I going with that? Speaking of thoughts, I lost my train of thought.
uh you're something about Thetans?
Yeah, okay, so the Thetans, dude, okay. So I was meditating, and I had this Scientology, like, vision or experience or something, bro.
Right.
I probably told you about this already, where I felt like this, like, I don't know, big light being. Of course, you always hear that, right? Oh, a being of light came to me.
Mm-hmm.
And it had, like, this giant, like, needle, it looked like.
Mm-hmm.
Or like an etheric needle, like it was just light energy.
Yeah.
And it felt like it, like, stuck it into my head
Mm-hmm.
and just sucked out, like, thousands of spirits.
Jesus.
I know. And so that's when I had this kind of thought of, oh, the Thetans, oh, these other souls or spirits, but also my mind was thinking of spirits like, oh, the alcohol
Yeah.
in my blood cells,
Yep.
where I was like, oh man, there's just all these spirits. And so I felt like there was like demons literally trapped within my
Mm-hmm.
like my cells. Like each individual blood cell was like a
Yeah.
prison cell for a demon
Wow.
in my acid brain, you know?
Right. Yeah.
And
I could see it.
yeah, and then so that was my experience
Mm-hmm.
with that. So
That,
that's where I would be like, I kind of understand where they're going with this. Where it's like,
well, yeah. I mean, I was joking when I was like, that's how they get you, but it is kind of true, like, because pretty much every religion does have some truth in it.
mm-hmm.
But it gets dangerous when they are like use it to control people and shit like that.
When money and power comes into play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's the real thing about it, I think, is like, oh yeah, they might have this belief system, but as soon as this guy is, got a Ferrari and a big old $1 billion mansion or something, and he's getting his dick sucked every morning by a supermodel or what, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah,
Whatever their
for
thing
sure.
is, then uh,
Yep.
it just begins those power plays, and eventually just leads to the killing spree.
Well, yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Is like that's not even that bad, just being rich, like whatever. But I'm sure there's way worse shit going on in some of these religions.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty interesting. I'll follow a few other podcasts that'll talk about just these kind of small, even like a small cult that'll get established in like just a
Yeah.
little middle America community.
Yep.
And it's not even really much of a cult, like it's just like 6 people.
Mm-hmm.
But it's amazing
Yeah.
how somebody can really I don't know, just become infatuated and really believe that somebody else is like, I don't know, a god, or give them that kind of messiah complex thing.
Straight up. I think it's super interesting, man. Um, because people don't really think about religions as a cult, because they have other ways of convincing people they're legitimate, but
Mhm.
basically are cults. And there's things that aren't religions that are kind of like cults too, just even like fan bases or
Dude,
whatever
I
culture.
dude, yeah. I am fascinated with them. I love that Vice
Mm-hmm.
does the different things about them. Have you heard of the Unicult girl?
No.
Shit, man,
She
I'm gonna have to
one
hit her
person
up to do
cult.
the well, she makes like TikToks and YouTube videos, and like
Mm-hmm.
she does have like some people that will gather physically, but yeah, she has a following online.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, you know how people get, just like you say with artists, how you could be um, like the band Ghost or something. You know Ghost?
I think so.
They they kind of dress like the Vatican type stuff, like popes,
Mm-hmm.
but they'll be like ghouls. Like all the band members are nameless ghouls.
Right. Right.
So they kind of play into the like occult as well, which
Mm-hmm.
I have always been fascinated with the occult.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And as an artist, symbols, um,
Yeah.
and then, dude, that's why I was fascinated with even like magic.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I
Oh
would
yeah.
when I would hear about, because rock and roll, I was like, dude, this rock and roll stuff, freaking some of these people actually, I think, practice black magic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Be like, no, Jimmy Page bought Aleister Crowley's castle.
Yep.
What do you think he's fucking doing in there? Like, he's
Straight
probably
up.
not just watching the football game. No.
No shit. Yeah, I remember that book. I think I might have got it from you. It's like the dark side of rock and roll.
Dude, that's what got me into it all.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Same.
dude. The Crossroads. That's when I even heard about the Crossroads.
Yep.
And, dude, yeah. And so, people like, obviously, I've always been fascinated with that story of the Crossroads. Oh, Robert Johnson made a deal with the devil to be the
Yeah.
greatest, or sold his soul.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I heard about like the 27 Club was from that book.
Right.
Um,
Yep.
and I don't know. That's why I've always been fascinated with the Crossroads too, and that's what I would even think about those guys like Lil Peep or Juice World, where it's like, oh man, Juice World get on this thing and be like, all right, I'm about to sell my soul to the Illuminati, and then in
Mm-hmm.
2 more years he's dead, and he's on top of the world, and everybody knows his. You know what I mean?
Right.
That's kind of like what people actually warn you about.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, just the way we're interested in it, um, pretty sure a lot of other people are too. So if you just say shit like that, it's gonna get people's attention.
Dude, but when I be like fucking on drugs, like hella, you know, bunch of psychedelics and some uppers and booze,
Yep.
I would be in these places where I was like, okay, I am no longer just in reality. Like I would feel like I was in my own personal heaven or hell
Yeah.
realm of psychosis or what, I don't even know, but
Mm-hmm.
and I would like literally feel like that at times. I don't know if this is how other people are, but I would be feeling like I became obsessed with it, where it was like
Mm-hmm.
I would go withdraw myself and
Right.
like it'd be like okay, even hide away from my family,
Mm-hmm.
and be like, okay, everybody's asleep, and now I can hide away in my own zone
Yep.
and party with my personal angels and demons.
Right. Yeah.
Or feel I now would feel like I'm connecting with God or the devil, and I liked it.
Mm-hmm.
People would
Yeah.
say like, "No, you're not making a deal with the devil or something." I'm like, "No, I fucking relished in it."
Right.
I mean, I'm just being honest. Like,
For
there'd be,
sure.
I'd look. You ever look in the mirror if you were tripping and be like, I'd have those things where I was like, oh, maybe these are just all archetypes in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this thing is just, maybe I'm just giving it a name, giving it the name God or
Right.
the devil or Christ or angels or demons, and I don't know. Maybe it's just
I don't know
energy or
either.
something. I don't even know. You
It
know,
could be either or. Yeah, really.
or could be a bunch of bullshit. No,
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's all hogwash.
I don't believe or disbelieve.
I like to believe. I guess that's like what they say about aliens, right? I want to believe.
For sure. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm more inclined to believe, and that is human nature, and there's probably a reason for that. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I like to believe there might be a reason why we. Well, I guess that's probably kind of what the book is about too, like why you do the things you do, or
Mm-hmm.
um, just as. And that's the greatest thing about you know us as humans is that we do have that free will to make it the choice of
For sure.
do I want to do this or not.
Yeah. And it does like delve into all the like the specifics and different uh like systems.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it talks about a lot is making systems instead of focusing on goals, you know.
Mm.
But
Like a
basic
system, like
just systems of like forming good habits, you know, just little just like the habit stacking thing that I was talking about where it's like you already know you're gonna wake up and have some coffee, so like stack a good habit on top of that.
mm.
Um, so focusing on systems that will get you towards that goal instead of just focusing on the goal itself. Uh, but basically,
Mm.
it's just about incremental gains over time. Like they're gonna add up, and there's gonna one of the things it talks about too, which I thought was cool, was the Valley of Despair. I think they called it, or the Valley of um, not despair, but like I think it was basically just like you're not seeing any results for a while until you get to a certain point where all those uh small changes lead to noticeable.
Oh, right,
So
yeah. It's like all that time that you're working away and you're like, I just want to give up.
yeah, and then something happens and you're like all that practice and all that time and everything lines up and then some big shit happens and people are like, oh, he's an overnight success.
Right, yeah.
When really you've been working for years.
Dude, dude, once we get this center, dude, that's when I'm gonna be like, it's just gonna be a lot easier, I think, to like, first of all, it's gonna be fun,
Mm-hmm.
and it's gonna feel like good, rewarding type stuff. Because obviously, the goal is with things like that. There's salaries
Yeah.
too. You know, where it's like, yeah, it's salary based, like, um, and then there's like hourly stuff. But really,
Yep.
I just think that I don't know. Just been trying to figure out the right things to do in life, where it's like, and of course, I even still wrestle with that, where I'm like, should I even do this? No, don't do it. Community center. That's a bad idea. COVID-19.
Right.
And I'm like, oh, you'll have to keep things really clean, and you'll have to make sure that kids might break their bones on the fucking quarter pipe
Mm-hmm.
skateboarding, or they might fall on.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, whatever. I mean,
Yeah.
I'd rather just fucking do it than.
What insurance is for.
Exactly. Yeah. And get the insurance, and then have the like waiver liability stuff and the
Mm-hmm.
signs and
Oh yeah. Yep.
just all that stuff, where it's like, and then again bringing myself out of my like cave sort
Mm-hmm.
of being like, well, I haven't been in the active in the community for a few years,
Right.
and then it's gonna get, that's when I'm like, okay, well, now people are definitely gonna be paying attention to what the hell we're doing,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
because, well, there's not a lot of stuff like this happening in our area.
Yep.
So it's exciting. New stuff is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
It's just fucking scary, you know, because,
For sure.
you know,
Well, I mean,
the fear of failure and rejection.
for sure. Yeah. One thing I can't remember where I seen this or heard it. Um, but it was like people aren't really afraid of failure. They're just afraid of others seeing them fail, which I thought was kind of funny.
Yeah, dude. Afraid of even success, actually,
True.
too. Where I'm like, I am actually, you know, you think of the success of, I just want people to hear my song. And then you
Mm-hmm.
wake up one day and 1 million people have heard your song, and then there's 50,000
Yeah.
comments.
Yep.
How, then you got to deal with that. You know, maybe it'd
Yeah.
be best just be like, don't read a single fucking thing. No.
I mean, yeah. It's
Just because then you start getting thoughts of like,
oh, for sure.
this is what people think about me.
Definitely. Yeah. Yeah, it's a weird thing. You gotta juggle. But I think you'd really like this book, bro. I'm gonna send it to you.
Dope.
Not
I've been
not this one.
want
This one's my cousin's, but
right.
she's like,
Uh,
"Where's my book?" Oh, I sent it to Jake.
ha, nice. Yeah, there's a few books. I've sent you just a few books, and you're one of the only people in my life that I've actually done the book exchanging with.
Yeah.
Um, I still have one because I've given you one or a few that I've actually
Mm-hmm.
found again.
Really?
Yeah. Siddhartha, maybe?
Okay.
Maybe you had that one by yourself.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, there was another one I read. Like, it was called No Ordinary Moments.
Yep. I'm
Um,
pretty sure I still have that one.
nice. I don't know why, dude. I was always the guy. Maybe it's lame. It shouldn't be considered lame, in my opinion, but I'd be like, I'm gonna go to the self help section,
Right.
and it'd be like, because in my mind I was like, this is good value. Like, I'm trying to
Mm-hmm.
fix this thing up here.
I think I think that type of shit is good because like no one book is gonna really do a lot. But if that's like the type of shit you're feeding your brain, like that's not it can't be bad, you know, like
Yeah, I mean, it's, some people be like, you sissy? Shopping in the self help? What? I'm going to the
right.
Playboy aisle.
Yeah.
Uh,
Straight up.
like I'm going to the art section. Okay, they got a Playboy book in there. No,
Right.
I do remember that one in Hastings. I'd be like, guys, check it out.
Yeah.
Playboy's 50th collection or whatever.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Um, but yeah, dude, and that's kind of the other thing why I was like, dude, a community center would be cool because I was like, there's just not a lot like that here in Montana, especially for young people. So,
Yeah. I
I,
mean,
I'd at least have kombuchas there if I could,
yeah,
because I'm like, I can't get like, uh, I don't envision even trying to get a beer and wine or liquor license.
right.
I'm like, yo, if we ever have an event where there's gonna be booze, I'll just have like the brewery cater or something.
For sure. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess it's kind of my shtick, sort of. It's not really a shtick. It's just like all these other guys do. Where I'd see you got like Steve-O. When I seen Steve-O getting sober,
Mm-hmm.
or Slash, Nikki Six, fucking
Yeah.
Brandon Novak. When
Yep.
I was like, well, I mean, I can either represent being the party guy that's getting all fucked up, or you know, not keep getting fucked up.
Yeah.
Cause I was actually just really afraid that I might die.
Definitely, man.
Like I had a real fear that I might just have a random like just death when I was asleep.
Yep. Or anything really could happen.
Oh yeah, for that again with what happened with you and Chris and Daisy, where I was like,
Mm-hmm.
it just goes to show that unfortunately it's like just another reminder of how fragile our lives are. And
For sure.
but again, like
Yeah.
when stuff like that happens, and it just makes you think sometimes, me, I'd be thinking too fucking deep or far out, where I'm like, was it supposed to be this way? Like,
Mm-hmm.
did we come into this life with, well, your life's gonna be like this
Yeah.
or something? I always just have those thoughts where I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
where I do wrestle with the ideas of destiny and free will and
Right.
kind of how they go
Yeah.
hand in hand,
It's
or if
weird.
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, there's definitely times, uh, like even with Chris, like even though we weren't together that long, um, I was just like, there was times where I'm like, we've we've been here before, type shit,
Like soulmate type feeling or something, or
Mm-hmm.
like yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I've had those feelings with fucking like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a big old kiss. No,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
no. But yeah, homies in life where I have actually a belief in a part of my brain or my soul or something where it's like, no, I think that I actually believe in reincarnation too.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I do actually believe in like a heaven or hell's sort of too, where I'm like, yeah, I do believe that your spirit could go into some heavenly realms, like, but you might not get access to like the top level yet,
Yeah.
you know. But
Yep.
depending on like maybe your karma or like your soul's level of consciousness, you could ascend to these higher or lower vibrations or something. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And but you might be like, okay, I'm gonna go back and live another life. Cause I was like, dude, what if in like the realms beyond, when you're like choosing your next life, you're like,
Mm-hmm.
well, in this life I'm gonna be born in the year 2012, and I'm gonna be an artist, and then you live your life, and you're like, fuck, I died from cancer, and had all this like shit happen, and
Mm-hmm.
then you're back in the heavenly realm, and you're like, okay, this time I'm gonna go back to like 1969, and like you know
Yeah.
work for the CIA or I don't know.
Man, I can't remember what it was from, like if it was a video or something I was reading, but it was super trippy because it was like I wish I could remember the whole story, but it was something like, and it actually might have been on some like quantum immortality shit,
Mm-hmm.
but it was something like the dude or whoever died, and they were like talking to God, or God, and they kind of figured out that God, and I'm butchering this because I barely remember, but the gist of it was like that person lived that life, and they basically had to live every life of every person on Earth, so like you could get the full experience
Mm-hmm.
of being alive or being a human, and
To attain like ultimate.
something like that. But it was basically like everyone is like the same person,
Right.
just living that life at a different time, so like
Like we all are the same soul experiencing life. That's why they say our soul, like if you believe in God or something, they'd be like, oh yeah, our soul is like one with God, or like the source of all energy or something is what I imagine, I guess.
yeah,
Where I'm like, I don't fucking know, man. It's just like this weird pulsating source of like,
right,
and then
yeah,
it's like, I don't know, that's just where I came from.
yeah,
I don't know.
straight up.
And then
I don't know.
that's what some people believe. So, but some people, that's what they would say even about people with DMT trips, like that chick that was recently on Joe Rogan talking about her DMT trip. I don't know if you've heard her yet.
I'm not sure.
She's saying how some people would have an experience where they would start to view people as like NPCs,
Oh yeah.
sort of. And I'm like, look, I kind of get that. Like, understand where you're coming from, especially as a gamer
Mm-hmm.
and as a psychedelic user.
Right.
Um, that like I get it, but and I've had those thoughts too. Where I'm like, do these people have souls or not? Like, I don't
Right.
fucking. Are we? That's actually where I got to with the simulation theory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so, like people basically believe that okay, our souls exist in a realm beyond this, and we just plug in to this
Right.
reality when we wake up or whatever.
Yep.
Some I don't know, something like that, like, and that this is not the real world. This is our avatar body.
Mm-hmm.
And then some people believe that oh, if you have a soul or something, if you come from this outside out of the matrix place,
Mm-hmm.
you exist outside the matrix, or they'd be like, or they don't. They don't have a soul. They just exist in the matrix. I'm like, I didn't got no
Right.
fucking. I gotta get a Thetan machine to measure who got a soul, who doesn't. No.
Straight up.
So I'm like, so this ain't like fucking Grand Theft Auto. You can't just go on a killing spree and just be like killing people. Like, it doesn't matter. They don't have a soul. Yeah.
Well, we talked about that. I think it might have been the first one that we did. One of the first ones about like the Matrix defense, how that dude like killed his parents because he was
Mm.
like super into the Matrix, and
Ooh, dangerous territory. Yeah.
mm-hmm,
Especially if you have mental
yeah,
illness or instability. If you have a little like schizophrenia tendencies.
mm-hmm. It's weird. Speaking of schizophrenia, the other day I was thinking like, or maybe it was today. Today the 12th. Oh, it was yesterday. Because I was just looking at the date, like it was like 12/12/21,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm like, oh, that's kind of almost like symmetrical. And I'm like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
12/22/21 is symmetrical.
Mm.
And then today I seen a trailer for the new Matrix movie that's coming out, and it comes out on twelve
Oh,
twenty two.
dude, I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I haven't even seen the. Is this the fourth one?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
they
I need.
made the third one was two parts.
Right. Okay.
I think there was Matrix, Matrix
Reloaded.
Reloaded, then the
Mm-hmm.
Matrix Revolutions,
which was two different movies.
Two different movies, and then there's
Yeah.
Matrix. What is it now?
Resurrection.
Resurrection.
Mhm.
Uh, shit. I can already think of the name for the next one. No,
What?
I don't know, something like Revival or it's all like
Yeah.
Revolution Reloaded.
Hmm.
You know, but
Yeah.
yeah, dude, The Matrix is cool. How
Yeah.
have you watched the other ones though?
I've seen the first two.
Hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, they're so fucking weird.
Yeah.
that yeah, I'm just like, it's far out. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, to get these ideas. Okay, dude. So here's what fascinates me about the Matrix, though. So there's okay. I'd go on those rabbit holes of the Matrix. People think it's real. Like we're living in the Matrix, and there's another world that exists outside of here. Even
Hmm.
Tibetan belief systems or the Hindu or Buddhist belief systems of stuff like that, right?
Yep.
And then I would see these other cultures and religions that were also about the same type of thing with the Matrix, but more about the battery of it, right?
Right.
Like, so that's what the people, like the flat Earth people, flat Earth society. From one thing I've understood about some people's beliefs is that okay, so they imagine this like dish or whatever,
Hmm.
and they imagine the sun and moon just spinning around this. They imagine like a toroidal field or something, like a battery.
Right.
And so I think again comes into these ideas like the Matrix. And I think that it might even have to do with like the chakra systems and stuff like that
Yeah.
because they have those little like ports on them that they would like unplug and plug into
Hmm.
in the movie where yeah, I don't know, some of these just different like belief systems would have those kinds of ideas of like
Yeah.
the humans are being used to harvest energy to power the whole matrix.
Um, yeah, apparently the original one though, or like the way they wrote it was instead of battery power, it was like CPU power.
Hmm?
So it'd be like instead of using like each body for like electrical power, it was they were using each person's brain as computing power.
Mm.
So, but
Ooh,
they yeah, apparently they thought people wouldn't understand that, so they changed it to batteries.
interesting.
Hmm.
Dude, that song Battery by Metallica is one of my favorite songs ever.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yep.
Speaking of battery, what's going on? Your screen blacking out, going in and out?
No, my eyes are getting killed by this light back here. I just turned it off.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
You're getting blinded?
Yeah, I'm just like constant. They're like drying my eyes out.
Oh, dang, bro.
It's good. It's better
Dude,
now.
dude, that's what I was worried about with the old, you know, when COVID hit and there was like, oh, you might lose your sense of smell or taste.
Hmm.
Did you ever have that happen?
No.
Still has happened to some of my family. They haven't got it back.
Hmm. That's what you're saying.
And never happened to me. Um, but I was like, dude, fuck. They might be making something one day. In my mind, I imagine a bunch of scientists in the lab. I'm sure, the Earth does its thing too, where it's like, fucking watch out, there's a fucking chemical bomb over here in the Earth. But,
Yep.
uh, scientists, man, where I'm like, dude, I don't know, dude, they might make something to make you go blind.
Yeah.
For like, oh, don't get this new fucking diseases and shit. Like today when I was at the doctor and we're talking about how to treat these different viruses and this and that,
Hmm.
that even coming from the doctor was like, yeah, I believe in medicine, but at the same time, we're just trying to treat
Oh yeah.
all all these viruses. So,
Dude, yeah. I mean, what kind of fucks me up is that like like despite everything that people are like fighting about right now about everything,
yeah,
um like there's gonna be more viruses, and there's probably gonna be another pandemic, like whether it's soon or like 10, 20 years or whatever. There's gonna be another one, and this one like was pretty, I mean, a lot of people died and shit, but like
mm.
it could be way bad, and people are just gonna like, oh, it's fine, and just like it's not gonna be fine.
This one I thought was a lot worse.
Mm-hmm.
Like it literally, I thought it was gonna be like the fucking Black Plague or
Right.
something. Like I was like, you get it, you're dead.
Yeah.
And I do think it has been very interesting, and it's still very confusing watching it all happen. And I've only had so many experiences with it,
Right.
but I don't know, man. In my mind, I'm like, dude, it's probably just, like I guess the thing that really gets me about it is the passport stuff,
Yeah.
where it's like, man, that's pretty fucking gnarly. If in the future we're all gonna have to be like regularly dosed,
Yeah.
like I think that's pretty much impossible. Like you're just gonna have to continuously do that. That doesn't seem very healthy to me.
Well,
I don't know. Maybe it is, depending on what you're putting in your body.
yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Like I was pretty freaked out in the beginning too. Um, but I understood that it was like, you know,
New,
well, that plus well, what I was gonna say is if you're not that healthy, or if you have like pre-existing conditions and shit, it could be worse,
right?
and I grew up with like pretty bad asthma, so just having some sort of like lung virus
Right.
really freaked me out, because there's been times where like it was really bad. I've been to the hospital over a dozen times,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fucking scary when you can't breathe. So that
Yeah.
freaked me out. And yeah, just the fact that it was new, like I totally understand, that you should probably err on the side of caution
Oh, for sure.
when there's a new worldwide pandemic. But just like anything, like,
Some people be out there. Have you seen them licking Walmart up?
yeah,
Like,
for sure.
I'm
Those
like, shit, man. I
Some
need to
of
be
those people
pulling
got
this
in
shit
big
up.
trouble.
Did
Yeah.
they?
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Like what? Like,
Like fucking, I don't know. Like, I don't know how true it is, or if I'm remembering wrong, but like, not attempted murder, but it was something crazy like that, like some pretty big, because they're like intentionally like,
telling people to go lick the.
well, just them doing it themselves, like the people licking the ice cream and shit. Um, it was like in the middle of the lockdowns and shit, and people were, you
Oh,
know,
to doing it to affect other people. Yeah, for sure.
well, like if you don't know if you have it or not.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, man. People are. I don't know. People are strange. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
And, dude, this thing really probably messed with people's heads because they were all locked down. You can't go out in the world. And then
Yeah.
people probably be getting lit.
Oh, for sure, dude.
All, like, just inside. I give you a really. And then they're pushing the simulation theory on you. And it's like, oh, great. Now everybody thinks we live in Grand Theft Auto. And,
Right.
dude, that shit's just insane, man.
Well, just even like the whole thing with just Facebook and social media and stuff, like it's really given people this whole like, I don't know if you heard of like the main character syndrome.
Yeah.
Not syndrome, but
Have
just
I
like
heard about it? It's my life. No.
right, like
I'm the
everyone
main character here. No, I'm kidding.
exactly. Yeah, like
Wait, no. You're the main character. I'm just the fucking
the
slapstick
NPC.
sidekick. Yeah.
Fuck. I
I'm just
mean,
a robot to make you feel less alone. No.
right, dude, don't say that.
I'm just a figment in your imagination.
Bro, no.
No. I know, dude, that's the fucked up thing. But
But no, like for sure, and there's everyone kind of has those moments probably, but like, I mean, how could you not? You're the only one looking out of your eyes.
yeah.
But people do get pretty crazy.
Well, yeah, I mean, the ego, narcissism, I know what
Yeah.
it's like because I've experienced it and, you
Mm-hmm.
know what it's like. And to be like, okay, because look, doing psychedelics and stuff like that, people be like, good, you can like step out of yourself and look at life from a outside perspective and think about other people. That's not always how it is.
Right.
Like you could just be like super egotistic, like eating psychedelics, like on a one trip, or you could binge on them or anything. It's like
Yep.
it's all subjective. I think it, you know, just like you
Oh yeah.
say with anything, like it affects people differently.
Yep.
And I mean that tattoo you got of the starve the ego, feed the soul. I think that is. Where'd you get that idea from? I was saying
It was it's a glitch mob song.
glitch mob.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I mean that's just balancing that. I think is the key right there.
Well, yeah, that's the problem with getting like sayings tattooed on you is like there's always a
I have carpe
counter.
diem.
Well, that's a good one, like but like something like this is like
I have my
so
own name tattooed on me. That's pretty fucking. I'm like, God, that's so lame. Like,
I mean, yeah, I actually recently went and got these ones touched up.
oh, nice.
Yeah. I
Wait,
mean, I
111.
yeah, that was
Wait.
my that was my apartment
Oh,
number.
that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I got 1991 right here. Um,
A new
I
one?
got yeah. Well, I got it at the same time as this
Oh,
one.
that's when you were born, 1991.
Yeah,
Nice.
but
I
yeah,
do have my birth date on my and like I know. So
yeah,
if I'm, my grandmother was literally like, when I got the tattoo, she's like, "Oh, that way they can identify you when you're murdered."
right.
I was like, "Damn, what are they gonna chop my head off or something?" What?
Jesus,
I was like, "Damn, grandma, you really rushed to one end of the spectrum with that."
for sure.
But yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's whatever. I
yeah, whatever. I'll be murdered.
no,
That's what I
I was
signed
just
up for. No,
I was just thinking about like
that's how I'd prefer to go, actually.
yeah, it's whatever. Grammy.
Yeah,
um,
murdered for my, I don't know. Hopefully, go out like fucking John Lennon or something, where it's like, I don't know, that guy was just saying like peace and love.
uh-huh.
Like,
Well, because speaking of John Lennon, and we're talking about Juice World, yeah, there's this lyric where he's like, yeah, I'll be like John Lennon, and they both died on the same day, actually.
are you kidding me?
No,
Wow. They'd be like, Juice World was John Wilkes Booth reincarnated. No, that was Abraham Lincoln's killer, huh?
yeah, right.
Ah.
But what
But see,
was?
that's what I wonder when we were talking about like reincarnation and
Mm-hmm,
stuff. Where I'm like you, like we've been so connected. We've had some like super trippy experiences where I'm like, yeah. He's like somebody I. There's a belief in like soul groups where people are
right.
like, yeah, like you keep living life repetitively with like the same souls. They'll be reincarnated and then you'll like reconnect
Yeah,
and stuff like that. So I like to think that that could be true.
I mean,
It might be like in the last life you murdered this person, so you're gonna have to reconnect them in the next life, and
mm-hmm,
I don't know, it'll be like way different relationship or something.
yeah, dude. I mean, that's like a good movie idea. I'm
Cloud
sure.
Atlas. Have you heard
Uh,
Cloud Atlas?
I haven't, but You told me about it.
Yeah, the I don't know, I haven't read the book, but the movie is kind of based around that idea, like
Mm-hmm. I
just
think
I
that's pretty
think
cool.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it does. It does kind of feel like that sometimes. Certain like you meet someone and you're like, I swear I know you. Or
Yeah,
even.
dude. Especially the people sometimes that in you become like have a relationship with, or
Mm-hmm.
well, actually, one time I found a book that was called like Destiny. Another one of them Hastings books. I used to spend a lot of times in Hastings,
Yeah.
and it had like birth dates, and there was
Right.
actually a lot of people with the birth dates that were in my life. They were like soulmates to my birth date,
Hmm.
my wife,
Mm-hmm.
other females, multiple, and like my closest relationship females.
Right.
I was like, I never really looked into the dudes yet, but
Yeah.
I was
That's
probably
a
just
trip.
like, you know, so which girl am I gonna bang? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
No, but yeah,
Uh-huh.
it was that whole idea of like maybe I'm looking for somebody or something.
Yeah. 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 Even like just the whole astrology thing. Like I used to make fun of it, and I still kind of do, but just like I never really, because Chris was super into it, and she
Mm-hmm.
would like look up my birth chart and all that. And she'd be like, "Oh, you're such a Leo," and just shit like that.
Oh
Um,
right.
but I just thought I used to think it was so stupid because just horoscopes, yeah, and I still think horoscopes are kind of dumb. Um, but I think it is pretty interesting, just the whole birth chart thing, and
Oh for sure. It really fucked with my head though when they're like, "There's actually another zodiac sign,
oh no,
so your sign is actually wrong." And I was like, "Fuck that.
yeah, right,
I'm a Gemini, motherfucker. I ain't a Taurus,
yeah, fuck,
or whatever."
fuck that,
And they'd be like, "See, it's so easy to tell your personality." No, I'm kidding.
right.
But yeah, I do believe. I don't know, dude. It's just crazy to think like that. It's so easy to brush things off and be like, "Dude, life's just life. Just fucking life's life. You're just born and then you die one day. Whatever."
Right.
Like, there's no meaning to it. There's no reason to it. It's just chaos. Like, you exist because some fucking single-celled organism long fucking time ago evolved into a fucking monkey, and now look at us or whatever.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, dude, life's too fucking amazing.
Honestly,
Like,
I think it's both, man.
well, definitely a blend of both. Where I'm like, people would argue with like creationism or evolution. I'm like, what if God created things to evolve? And they're probably like, no.
Yeah. Like it's one or the other. For real though. Like, I mean, even if you were totally 100% like evolution, no intelligent design, like what the fuck is the Big Bang? Like that's like the most mysterious, magical thing, and scientists believe in it. Like what the
Uh,
fuck is that?
yeah, for things to materialize out of nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that shit blows my fucking mind.
I know, dude.
Like,
Straight up.
and that's why I'm like, I used to be nothing. That's
Yeah.
actually, like my song Making Contact, the
Yep.
came out of nowhere, out of
Right.
thin air. It actually it kind of actually comes from a few different things. First, the ideas of UFOs,
Yep.
like just boom, like tra- appearing. Second, the thing of like life, where I'm like, dude, I used to be just like gelatin ooze swimming around in my dad's nutsack.
Mm-hmm.
And then next thing I know, I was fucking growing in my mom's womb and I was fucking
Yeah.
flopped out.
Right.
And that's pretty fucking crazy to me. I'm like,
Straight up.
so there's this, I guess it could be the Gemini side of me where I was like, I do kind of believe where I'm like, yo, we have this body, that we are this body, but, you know, but really we are that soul that like comes into this body is kind of the idea, right?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
Possibly. Kind of hard to
it's
prove, but
yeah, it's definitely a weird thing to contemplate.
well, yeah, and the fucking I don't know, man. That yeah, I was just contemplating and it fucking blew my gourd.
Yeah.
Dude, that's the thing about psychedelics though, DMT or even just a mushroom or acid trip, probably even weed with some people, where it's like
Hmm.
I'd have that big bang go off kind of in your head,
Yeah.
where that's the thing that trips me out about, have you ever seen those pictures? Shit, maybe I could even try to bring one of these up. I haven't done that.
Pull it up,
Um,
Jamie.
yeah, those things that'll be like the brain and then the universe.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can. Let's see. I'll try this. Alt S,
Hmm.
maybe.
But then you still have to click the window that pops up, so it's
Oh,
like,
okay. Can you see that?
yep.
Yeah, dude. These things.
Hmm.
A brain cell. I don't even know what's blocking that out. The universe, birth of a cell, death of a star, the eye, a nebula. I'm like, dude,
Yep.
that just blows my mind about the microcosm and the macrocosm of
Hmm.
life, and that to me, that's fucking drugs, right? That's life, but that's like psychedelic drugs. I'd be thinking like that.
Oh, for sure.
And it's not even just how the hell do I get back now? Return to meeting.
Leave
Uh,
at the bottom right, I think. Or no, don't leave.
uh, Wait, can I just Alt S this?
I think it's on the little window.
Oh, whoops. Oh, I see. Go back to. I thought I knew what I was doing with this shit.
For
um,
real.
yeah. Stop screen share. Oh, easy.
There you
Well, yeah, dude. That shit though. That to me, I'm like, it's just weird, and that's why I think that those types of substances are like magic mushrooms.
go.
Is because I'm like, dude, they make you like if you're born into this life with amnesia, sorta.
Yeah. Hmm.
You'll like if you're on a psychedelic trip, it feels like to me where you'll have like moments of like revelation or recollection where you're like, actually, I remember now.
For sure. Dude, yeah, my very first mushroom trip was kind of like that. Like, I was just like, I remember actually saying that. I was like, where have I been my whole life? I remember saying that out loud. I was just, but yeah, it was like, and like that type of shit too. Like, you don't, it's not even really like thoughts that you have, but it's just like you see it, and like, um, you just
It's
see
like
all those little connections everywhere.
yeah, your senses are super heightened, and it's almost like you know people would be really skeptical about like psychics and stuff like that. Like, I mean, I am too,
Right.
because I'm like, there's definitely some fucking cons out there. But
Yep.
yeah, just that I don't know. It just seems to be like I guess that's the doors of perception, right? Like they would say, opening the doors of perception
Hmm.
was I don't know. It's like kind of like you have these blockers sort of on your senses where you may not be like super connected to the
For sure.
universe. Then you just get that reminder, and it might be like, oh yeah. I guess
Hmm.
that's the old hippie thing, like we are all one, right? Yeah.
Well, another thing psychedelics have always done for me, even if it's not like a really crazy trip, they will just kind of like remind me that, not even in like a hippie sense, but just like a social sense
Mm.
of like you're fine. Like you're a human being. Like we're all just animals, just trying to figure this shit out, and like nobody gives a fuck. And just like quit thinking about yourself so much, and you don't have to be so like stuck in your head, and like just all that shit.
Yeah, true that. I guess that is
Just
one
made
of
me
the.
more comfortable being a human because it can suck sometimes.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're thinking about what other people think about you.
Straight up.
And how the hell are you gonna know what? Unless
Yeah,
they like, but really,
most of the time you're wrong.
yeah, you might be thinking like everybody hates me, and they're like, I thought you were just fine and dandy.
Yeah, but they're like, now I do.
Yeah, now that you mention it,
Yeah,
I have a good reason. You just reminded
straight
me.
up. Yeah,
Oh, I thought you hated me from that one time that I did this and fucking like banged your sister. Like, wait, that was you? No.
yeah, no shit. But even like on the real though, like nobody really wants to be around someone who's constantly thinking everybody hates them. Like that's no fun.
Yeah, and even like, yeah, because there are those people that actually play into it as a manipulation, where they're like, this is how I just like live my life is I play poor me all the time.
Yep.
And there was actually a book I read, the Celestine Prophecy. Did I give you that book?
I think you did.
Yeah, that was about those theories of energy
Mm-hmm.
manipulation.
Yeah.
And I see it in people. I mean, you could categorize people as those like, oh, they're using intimidation,
Mm-hmm.
or there was like the intimidator, the interrogator, like who would just like ask questions a lot, or
Mm-hmm.
playing dumb.
Right.
Um, and I can see it, and just like any time you get in like a toxic relationship,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh shit, this person's like playing games with me to like, I don't know what to get a rise out of me.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, could be friends or homies or a relationship, but yeah, I see it, and then I see it happening in myself, and I'm like, oh fuck,
For sure.
how do I stop
Mm-hmm.
my manipulation tactics
Yeah.
that I'm not even conscious of?
Exactly.
They're
Yeah.
just like, I'm just like, but I don't know. You grow up and you just learn these ways or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yep.
just as being a human, and it's like, ah, fuck. How do I actually become a better person?
Straight up. Yeah. Uh, it's not that common that people are like aware enough to like try to not do those things.
Yeah. What, you got any goals or New Year's resolutions?
Um, I haven't really thought about it too much. I think I kind of started a little early.
Oh, really? Oh, got a head start on it. What is it?
Well, I've been got like a exercise regimen that I'm trying to
Oh,
stick to.
fuck. I need to do that.
I decided once all my juice runs out, I got a couple bottles that I'm gonna quit vaping. So I
Nice.
guess you could count that.
Well, yeah. Fuck yeah. Wait, are you smoking THC nowadays or just the nicotine?
Just nicotine,
Yeah,
but
dude. Nicotine is fucking addictive.
it's bad, dude.
Dude, it was so hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
Cause I quit multiple times, and you know how it is. As a smoker, I got into smoking Black and Milds too.
Right.
I seen one today as we were checking out a Walmart,
Mm-hmm.
and I was
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, God, I fucking
See,
love those motherfuckers."
that's the thing that sucks, especially with nicotine, because it's so fucking addicting. Is I'm gonna quit like no matter what, but like I guarantee for the rest of my life I'll be like there'll be times where I'm like, oh, that'd be nice. I want
Oh
it.
yeah, yeah. I've tried once, like, uh, with my wife and homie at like probably after band or something. 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'll be like, "Yo, wanna have a smoke? Step outside." And I like puffed a little bit of a cigarette. And I was like, "Oh God, I don't even want this right now." Oh.
Yeah,
But
that's the thing about
cigarettes are one thing, vapes are another.
Right.
They're kind of like bittersweet, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Hurts so good. Like unless I feel the burn, wasn't
Mm-hmm.
even fucking worth it. No.
I know, dude. Well, that's the thing too, is like I was lowering my nicotine on the juice that I was getting,
Mhm.
and I got down to 3, which is the lowest you can get before 0. But I'm like, this isn't even doing anything. Like, I don't even.
Oh,
So
it's
I
like
just
a non-alcoholic beer.
what that's I actually do like non-alcoholic beers though, because it's stupid because it's like, I'm trying to like eat clean and all that, and like not a lot of carbs and stuff. So it's like it's all the carbs and half the fun, like
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, but at the same time, like, well, getting drunk wasn't even becoming fun to me anymore.
for sure,
Like,
exactly.
I don't know. Like I used to love getting drunk.
Hmm.
Like I drank to get drunk. I
Right.
didn't drink because I liked it,
Yeah.
but I do actually like it because I've drank it for so long
Right.
that I was like, dude, I fucking love the taste of beer.
For sure, it
Um,
is good.
but I don't actually want to get drunk anymore because I'm like, dude, I just like
Yeah.
my brain
Hmm.
is so much different when I'm not drinking alcohol.
For sure,
Uh,
dude.
the way I, just think and feel even about, oh yeah, I'm just smarter and I feel like I have a better self esteem.
Hmm. Yeah.
And, you know,
Well, it can't be good. I mean, obviously it's not good for you. But I remember, and it was not even that long ago, dude. It was like fucking before I moved up here. And when
mhm.
I had just moved up here, and I was like talking to one of my cousins, and I'm like, yeah, I don't think I've ever blacked out. And they were like, what?
Like, we're blacking out tonight, motherfucker. Drink
Well,
this.
I
No,
mean,
just kidding.
no, because like I was drinking like crazy, like getting pretty drunk.
You've blacked out. You just can't remember. No, I'm kidding.
Right. But like, and I'm sure you've
Shit,
experienced it
I've seen
too.
you blacked out actually.
Yeah. Really?
Or, well, maybe you weren't blacked out, but I remember some times, and that you've had me probably at times where like, oh fuck. I
Hmm.
remember you. I was tripping out one time. You'd be like, dude, you okay, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well,
just sometimes we go over and thank God we're there for each other.
oh, for sure, for sure. But what is scary about it is uh once you black out, whenever that was, um, it starts to happen more often and easier, and
Mm.
that's just cannot be good for your brain.
No, and I actually believe that that's when I actually do believe this. Like, and like I've said, because when I would go into those states of being like, I know, and it's probably really fucked up of me to even admit this type of shit, or people would probably be like, "You're actually insane. You're fucking madman." Where I'm like, no, like I felt I actually I know I was like interacting with like angels and demons or otherworldly entities beyond this
Hmm.
realm. I think they intermingle in our lives all the time, but I was like infatuated with it. I wanted it more, especially after death happened.
Right.
After I was experiencing death from family and friends and everything, I wanted to connect with the spirit realm more and more and more.
Hmm.
Not really something I recommend to people because it's very dangerous, like
Yeah,
poisoning yourself so that you can like tap in.
for sure.
Probably not a real healthy thing to do. Um,
Yeah.
but I don't really remember where I was going with that conversation. But I don't know, dude. I just had that obsession. I don't know why.
Hmm.
It's just, the search for something beyond
Yeah.
what's normal
Yeah.
in our lives. Or, if there is, I don't know, just whatever's out. Plus, actually, it was just kind of fucking fun, too. Which I, it, it was like weirdly fun. I don't know why. You know,
Well,
addiction. It's a fucking. It's a fucker.
yeah, dude,
You know.
it is, man. Yeah, that's like kind of the path I'm on right now. Is I just don't want to really be addicted like that to anything.
Oh,
Some,
that's what I was saying. Was the blacking out? I think that's kind of when I'd act crazy.
yeah.
Something I would never do, and I'm like, I don't know. It felt like something possessed me to do something. You know.
Mm-hmm. Well, um, yeah, like I would say for the longest time, like and it was true at the time probably, but I'd be like, yeah, I can get drunk and like I don't really change, like it's just me but drunk, you know. Um, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm like a happy drunk and all that. But after a while, dude, I would start to get like pretty feisty,
Mm, yeah,
and I could see that going in a bad way, like getting in fights or even
yeah,
just people being like, "Oh, you shouldn't drive," and I'd be like, "Oh, fuck you,"
yeah, for
just being
sure.
stubborn and being an asshole. Like that's not cool. I don't want to do that.
Yeah, dude, I know how it is too. Especially because when you're drunk, you're like, "Fuck, I'm not drunk at all." I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I know,
like,
dude.
I remember times when I was like, fuck, I've drank like a whole bunch of Michelob Ultras,
Yeah,
and I was like, God dang, I love these things because I'm not drunk at all. I've drank like a bunch of these, and
right.
you're like, you're definitely drunk.
Yeah, dude.
But from my
Straight up.
perception, I'm like, fucking, I'm more sober than I've ever felt.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I could run a marathon right now. No.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird, man. But like nicotine and caffeine, um, like, you like to think they're not really that bad for you. Um, like nicotine, I've
Fuck, it's
always
so hard
said
for me to quit nicotine. Or, I mean, caffeine.
for sure. I don't think I'll ever quit caffeine, but the energy drinks, I think, is what fucks me up.
That's what I'm trying to switch up.
Because
Because I'm
coffee is
addicted to
like,
Rockstar.
yeah, yeah.
And I'm like, that's not healthy. I at least drink the sugar free ones, but I'm still like,
Mm-hmm.
I just need the prana, man. I just need to breathe air in,
For sure.
harness the sun power. No,
Yeah, dude.
through my butthole. No, I always gotta
Fuck
go.
yeah.
I'm always that guy in the
Yeah.
conversation that's like family gathering. I'm like bring up the weird shit.
Right. Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Just trying to keep that balance and be like, this works for me.
Mm-hmm.
I might have to switch up my diet.
Yeah.
It's in. Have you ever heard the skater Andy Anderson?
I think so.
Yeah, dude, he shreds. He wears a helmet. He's got really long hair. He can do like everything. Like he'll do like freestyle
Mm-hmm.
shit and like
Right.
pools and everything. But anyways, the Nine Club is a podcast, skateboard podcast I like,
Mm-hmm.
and he was recently on there saying that he was like raised vegetarian or
Right.
vegan or something.
Mm-hmm.
So he's always been that way. And then I heard him being like pescatarian, and
Yeah.
now and he's like, yeah, after the Olympics, he did the skateboarding in the Olympics.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just was like, I gotta eat meat,
Yeah.
and I was like, whoa, I never. That for me, for some reason, it seemed to be like one of the first times I ever heard about like people like raised vegetarian. I've been like, you know what? Fuck this shit.
I think it happens all the time.
Probably does. I just never hear about it.
Right. Right. They don't want that getting out.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
whatever works. I got a little
For
bit
sure.
of Burger King the other day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, dude, this the fuck is this thing made out of? This hamburger was $1.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, what kind of fucking meat is this? No.
Straight
Is
up.
this meat?
I mean, Heart meat.
Right? Is it this lab simulated meat? Dude, did you
Yeah.
hear about? Okay, now this I might have to Google, but my homie Kevin, the drummer for Big Sky
Mhm.
Vibe, dude, he was telling me about how he heard of, because I made a joke one night. He's like, I want to go get some Taco Bell, and I was like, oh, haven't you heard how people be like, the reptilians run Taco Bell?
Oh, because the eye.
Yeah, in the logo.
Right.
And then I'm like, yeah, you know, they got to be like, they're serving us humans through the burritos or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes in with some Taco Bell one day, and we're like, oh yeah, you got the Soylent Green there, and we're joking about that. And he's like, actually, I did hear that people, probably the wealthy, are like, they could take their own cells to like clone. Because I was joking around about cannibals, you know.
Yeah.
And I was like, actually, I think I heard about a restaurant in Hollywood that actually serves human flesh.
What?
Yeah, I was like, is that legal?
No.
I was like, I don't think that's legal.
No.
But you know, you hear shit on the internet,
Right.
and
Hmm.
he's like, no, but I did hear about that people could like take their own cells to like clone and create meat out of
Mm-hmm.
to eat.
Like lab grown meat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's kind of a gray area because it's not like you're actually eating human meat, but there's just like the cellular structure is like a scaffolding type shit.
that's so crazy,
And then there's just some sort of process, I guess, where it turns into meat.
dude. That movie Cloud Atlas. The book is about that too.
Really?
Spoiler alert. Yeah, it basically leads because it's like the savages back in the day, like way in the past. You know, like
Mm-hmm.
eating each other because they're savages. Like, I gotta fucking live.
Right.
I just killed you, you know?
For
And
sure.
then now in the future, like in the way distant future, it's all like consumerism and it's all matrixy and like laser guns and stuff.
Yeah.
And there's like the consumers and there's like these like slave people that basically they're like, you will be freed and you get to go to the good place or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. And
Hmm.
basically they just take the slave people and kill them
Yeah.
and then turn them into the food that they feed the rest of them.
Jeez.
So, you know, it's there's always got to be a story like that, but that's
Man.
fuck, I hear them all the time these days,
Mm-hmm.
you know, about
Yeah.
shit being grown up in Great Falls, Montana.
Mm-hmm.
You heard that one, right?
Oh, what's his name?
Barjona.
Yeah,
Dude, that fucking haunted me as a kid.
for sure. Dude, yeah, my brother went to school with one of the kids that got kidnapped.
A Zachary Ramsey or a different one?
Yeah, Zachary Ramsey.
Yeah, dude, that is just, dude, it's like any parent's worst fear.
Dude,
Except for the people that actually will sell their children to like,
right.
you know, because that's fucked up that people do that, but people are fucking drug addicts and shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And they get stuck in fucking sex rings, you know?
Yeah.
And yeah, dude, just of course I would hear those haunting stories like, oh, they're serving pizza out of the fast food or serving humans out of the fast food restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Just to like be a kid and even think that that's like
Yeah,
happening in your town, that was fucked up, dude.
I know. Um, it's fucking crazy because my mom was in jail at the same time he was like awaiting trial and she like seen him and shit. Yeah, dude.
Dude, see people like that, it's like you. I don't know, dude. What fucking happens in somebody's brain to make them think that way? Like, and that's
Something broke.
again why I would be fascinated with, you know, I would read like remember Shayna? I was living with Shayna
Oh yeah.
and she had a Marilyn Manson book
Mm-hmm.
his autobiography.
Right.
And I was like, dude, I gotta figure out how the hell this guy turned out like the way he did.
Right.
And I don't know if you've ever read it or looked into his history, but
No,
fucking crazy life. Pretty fucked up.
I bet.
And it just, again, that's another reason why I'm like, man, I gotta get a community center or something going, because
Mm-hmm.
if these, if the youth and even some of the adults don't have some other things to do, man, they're gonna go fucking crazy.
Well, I don't think. I think those types of people are. I mean,
Gonna
I think.
exist no matter what.
Yeah, I think they're just born broken, you know. But it's definitely pretty important to have like a community, you know, and like a place to go and things to do, and that's super important. I don't think not having it is going to make a Charles Manson though.
Right, yeah. Yeah, yeah, I guess you never know.
Yeah.
Government made Charlie Manson.
Right.
Just,
Yeah.
right? Isn't that actually the thing, though? Like,
Um.
because he came to California. Well,
Mm-hmm.
actually, I heard his mom sold him for a pitcher of beer.
What?
Like, his mom was a junkie.
Right.
That's the legend. It's like, oh, his mom sold him for a pitcher of beer
Jesus.
to somebody at a bar or something. I don't know. And then
Right.
has this fucked up life, and he was living with one of the Beach Boys
Mm-hmm.
and writing songs. Like, the guy liked his songwriting,
Right.
and then I don't know. You've heard the stuff about the I don't know if it was MK Ultra or what. I think the but did you hear about him like getting into trouble and working with the government and
I've heard some shit.
him being
Um.
like given LSD to give
Mm-hmm.
to others?
Yeah.
That's the conspiracy behind it, is that oh, the Laurel Canyon murders and all this stuff with Charlie Manson was like an inside job, right?
Right. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, dude. I was actually really fascinated with the Charlie Manson one because I was just like, okay, there's this dude that's got a ranch and a bunch of acid and
Yeah.
a bunch of hippies and just like vagabond people, like any cult, give them drugs
Mm-hmm.
and then they think you're Jesus
Yeah.
and that you're God
Right.
or something. And yeah, dude, I don't know. That's when I've been fascinated with. Speaking of Marilyn Manson, Charlie Manson, man. Did you
Mm-hmm.
watch Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
I haven't yet.
You gotta watch that. It's about kind of that time,
Mm-hmm.
and we may have talked about it. You may have heard about it, but they just go like in a whole nother direction. Like, oh, if this would have happened,
Mm-hmm.
uh, so basically, I don't really want to spoil it,
Yeah, I definitely want to watch it.
so I'm not gonna
Um,
spoil it. But yeah, it's just because I thought it was gonna be like a retelling.
right,
So it kind of is, but it's like, Quentin Tarantino made it, so he's like, yeah, I just kind of did whatever the fuck I wanted with it. Like,
for sure.
maybe if this could have happened,
Right.
you
Yeah.
know.
Is it on Netflix?
I think I had to watch it on like one of the other ones,
Yeah.
like HBO now or something like that.
I'm a big fan of his movies.
Yeah, dude, I watched, before going to LA. 'Cause I'd never been to LA, so before going there, I was like, yeah, we gotta watch. I watched like just a bunch of stuff about LA,
Right.
just Hollywood. And
Yeah,
I still want to go explore Hollywood a lot more,
dude, for sure.
and some more places. But dude, I don't know. Hollywood just fascinates me.
Hmm.
Cause I'm like, dude, there's something going on here.
Yeah, definitely, man.
And I don't know, dude. It's just like feel? What did you think of LA? In all honesty.
So, I mean, I thought it was super cool. Um, Obviously, a lot dirtier than they like to show. Super
Right.
dirty.
Fuck yeah.
I just thought it was weird because, like, I haven't really been a whole lot of places, like,
Mhm.
especially like real big cities like that. But it's just weird that it's like it it feels different, but it doesn't really feel that different.
Right.
Like there's a different vibe to it, but you're just like, oh yeah, this is just a place. Like
Oh
you
yeah.
you imagine it's like you imagine it to be something way different, and then you get there, you're like, this is just a big town.
Right.
But there was a vibe there. I caught the whole like there's some darkness to it, man, for sure.
Oh, fuck. Dude, oh my god, that one night I drank so much. God damn. I had that red wine and like threw it.
Yeah,
I was pretty much blacked out.
yeah, yeah,
And I literally felt like I was in like Satan's stomach
dude.
or the belly of the beast. I was like, dude, I'm definitely feeling the devil's vibe. Like,
Uh-huh.
I'm not, I was like, there's definitely a lot of devil vibe out here.
For sure, bro. You looked like the devil to me that night because you
I
were
felt
like,
like it,
yeah,
you
you were
know.
like, well, for one, you had that light that was like that colored light.
It's probably I had a red light on one night, so
Yeah, it was red, and you were like wearing this
all
tracksuit,
black
all black.
jumpsuit, yeah.
Yeah, and you're like sitting there holding this wine, and I'm like, you were just talking about something, and I'm like just looking at you, and I'm like, dude, I should have taken a picture.
Well, dude, see, that's the fucked up thing about me is like, okay, this even okay on massive amounts of psychedelics or anything, I'd have those feelings where I was like, you know, where you get those thoughts where you're like, I am the devil,
Right.
and or you'd be like, I'm not just another fallen angel, like I'm from another realm, but I live here on this planet, or you'd have those feelings of like I am God or I'm Jesus or what, I don't know.
Hmm.
It's just there. It's just this thing that you kind of. I'm like, you haven't gone fucking crazy or you haven't partied until you think you're God and the devil.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
It's
because
true.
I'm just like, dude, if you haven't woke up in a puddle of your own vomit and piss,
Yeah.
you haven't partied. No,
I mean,
you
some
probably
may
partied,
disagree.
but no. Yeah.
I've
Like,
done that. I've definitely done that.
yeah, dude. It's just those things where it's like, damn, you kind of, you know, I don't know, take it overboard, and
Yeah.
but then, there's of course that part of you that's like almost wanted to do that,
Hmm.
like when as a kid, when I'm like, be a rock star,
Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking overdose then, no, or what. It's like,
Right.
no, maybe don't do that. Like, you don't have to
Yeah.
nearly kill yourself, you
For
know.
sure. Yeah.
And I guess that's, what I'm going to be trying to express when I was like, how am I going to be a community center? Then be like, oh, that fucking acid head drunk guy?
Right.
I'd be like, oh, look, okay, I used to be this guy. I used to do all the crazy stuff. And then was like, maybe I shouldn't do that
Right.
and try to be a better example.
Hmm.
So, and I was kind of afraid to do that stuff because I was like, oh, now I'm gonna be that pussy.
Right.
Oh, this guy got cleaned up his act and he's no longer worshiping Lucifer.
Right.
What? You know,
Yeah.
he's
What
no.
the fuck?
Yeah, no. It's like I'm cool with all that stuff though, man. Like that's what I'm trying to be. Was like a welcoming place where it's like, look, man, like Look, I might have a belief in God or belief in the devil or belief in Jesus or fucking believe in Buddha or believe aliens might exist.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm open minded and I just want to, make people feel loved
Mm-hmm.
and like, hey, accepted, and then obviously, unfortunately, there will probably be some people at times where it's like, I'm sorry you can't be here.
Right.
But whatever.
For sure.
But yeah, I don't know. Whatever changes is coming and happening in life. All I know is since for one thing, quitting drinking alcohol for me personally was like my one thing where I was like, look, I know I can make this change and it'll be better, and I'll slowly make other changes.
Yep.
But I'm working on it too, like that book you reading, the
Mm-hmm.
Developing
Atomic
Good
Habits.
Habits. Yeah, Atomic Habits. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm trying to make this into a habit, and you
for
know,
sure.
then here next year, hopefully it'll be more of a business too. It's not like I'm doing it for that reason,
Right.
but I know that obviously there's ways to do that.
Yeah,
So why not? You know?
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, dude. Well, I'm definitely gonna send you this book, but I don't even think you really need to read it because, like, in its simplest form, it's basically just what you just said. You know.
But it's nice to read things though.
No, for sure, for
Yeah.
sure. I mean, that's why I'm reading it. Like, um, but yeah, just I mean, since I quit drinking, I've started to make better choices. And they are adding up. And
You're not smoking weed either.
yeah, that wasn't even really conscious. I just kind of like,
Damn, dude. I wish it was that easy for me. And that's another thing. Sometimes I actually do pray, you know,
mm-hmm,
and because I do believe in like some sort of God.
right,
Whether it's just that like that snapshot of the microcosm to the macrocosm, where I'm like, I think that I don't know whatever it is. If it's I just think if you put the energy out there,
mm-hmm,
that the chances are better of it actually manifesting.
for sure,
You know,
yeah,
sometimes, and I guess that's kind of what I've been doing. Be like, yo, because you know how it is. I'm like, I want to quit, but I don't want to quit.
right, yeah,
But the
I,
idea of being like just good
mm-hmm.
is pretty nice idea. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely been cool, but I think I don't know. There are benefits to smoking, you know, and even if it is something like, um, I mean, because I'd use it to like self medicate, kind of, but
Yeah.
if it's that and nothing else, um, a lot of people like in the program or whatever probably wouldn't agree with that, but I think,
Right.
yeah, smoke weed, like if you're off alcohol and any other like bad shit, like fucking yeah, smoke weed all day.
All day. That's the problem, though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
is when it's like, yo, yeah, if you do slip into like, yo, yeah, I use it like a little bit before bed, but then it's like, nah, actually, I use it all fucking day.
Well,
Hitting the vape makes it way easy.
actually, yeah. And actually, now that I think about it, it was kind of conscious because I was kind of going back and forth between like even before I like quit drinking or anything.
And now it's gonna be recreational. I'm like, I'm done. I'm
I
like,
know,
really? As soon as they was like, oh yeah, go ahead. No.
but I was doing that because for me, man, like when I smoke, like it gives me anxiety, like and
Mm,
but like when I'm like smoking regularly, I'll just like power through it, and it's not really that bad, but I'll just like get in my head and just kind of have anxiety, but I'll just keep smoking, and then throughout the day, like it's just you kind of get over it.
right.
But when I one of the times when I hadn't smoked for a while, and I started smoking again, I would just do that, like, because I was kind of like, wasn't scared of it, but I was just like, I don't want to be uncomfortable, So like, I would literally do that. Like, I remember I bought an eighth, and I was sitting on that eighth for like the longest time, just because I would just like, I would load a bowl and just take like one tiny hit before bed, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was something about like at the end of the day when all your shit's done and you're just laying in bed, like you really can enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, and some heroin. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, just before bed though.
Just before bed, you know.
Oh my god,
No, yeah.
I'm sure someone out there's got a handle on it like that.
Dude, Dr. Carl Hart, that guy,
Uh-huh.
the dreadlock dude
Right,
that
right.
got a doctorate in Columbia.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, man, like, fucking get your medical cocaine too. But no, it's like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. You know how it is. It's just, like you say, the habits,
For
atomic
sure.
habits, and if things become a habit. And
Yeah.
that's the thing how it was with anything at first,
Mm-hmm.
where it'd be like, yo, yeah, I had a little bit of fun this weekend.
Right.
Just like, oh, I told you about the homie I ran into a construction guy.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, one of the other guys went down a bad road,
Yeah.
and it's just I've seen some of my friends at times like I remember one of my buddies that was like pretty into the party scene,
Yeah.
but it all started with just some ganja, the ganja,
Right.
and getting drunk, and then it gets into pills,
Yeah.
and then into powders,
Yep.
and then eventually into crystals
Mm-hmm.
and fucking bath salts. I don't fucking know. But
Right.
anyways, like I remember seeing him one day walking through the mall, and he's like walking with the family, bright, sunshiny, smiles, pearly whites, and then I seen him like few months later, like just a few months, maybe like 4,
Yeah.
and his teeth were all rotting out. His clothes and everything was just like, dude, he'd been wearing the same
Damn.
clothes for a whole week, and
Mm-hmm.
you could just see it in his skin and his aura and everything. Where it's like, damn, dude,
Yeah.
the fuck? Something
Straight up.
swooped in and stole your soul or something. I don't know, dude.
Yeah, dude. That shit's a fucking curse, man.
Yeah, dude, and it is crazy how like it's just super sad that especially in these areas around Montana. I'm sure on reservations and stuff all the time too, where it's like, I don't know, dude, somebody's cooking up some junk
It's pretty bad up here, dude.
in Kalispell area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the
It's
thing is,
fucking
because I'm like,
everywhere, man.
look, to be cooking up, like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But, like, these fucking chemists, sometimes they don't really fucking care. It's not like they're making good quality shit. They're just
Yeah.
banging out another. Not like I'm saying, if you're going to make it, make sure it's good quality. No. But,
Pulling Heisenberg on us.
right, yeah. But, I don't know, just super sad that I would hear about people making Gatorade bottle batches and stuff, shake and bake batches.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, no.
That's fucked.
I'm actually just really lucky that I never really became like that guy. I
For
got pretty
sure.
bad into like psychedelics and stuff, but
Yeah.
I don't know. There's a lot of people in this world that have gotten down different paths and they'd end up in like prison and stuff like that. Which I'm gonna talk to some more people on this podcast about that too. I got some people lined up that you
Mm-hmm.
know, and I always wonder that too. Where I'm like, well, in the future, even with the community center with the podcast, I might talk to some criminals,
Mm-hmm.
some people that have been to prison that are like, oh, I do rap and this other, I'm an artist too, but I went to prison for murder or
Right.
drug dealing or whatever. I'm like, oh, wait, what?
Yeah, dude.
And then so, yeah, no, it's kind of fucked up. But in the back of my mind, I think, you know, I always still have that stupid thought of like, what would Jesus do or something.
Mm-hmm.
Idea of like, what's what's the right thing to do? What's the righteous thing?
Yeah.
And
Well, I don't. I don't really like. I'm sure you're the same way. Like, I don't judge people like that. Like I've seen it
yeah, for sure.
all basically my whole life, dude. I've seen people get fucked up on shit, and
Oh yeah.
it's not good, man. It's these people are sick. They need help.
Yeah. And I guess, and myself included.
Yeah.
And you just got to believe in second chances and starting fresh again.
Yep.
I'm pretty stoked to hear that, things are going pretty good for you so far.
For sure, dude.
So what, you're just going to try to find a new job to get in the area?
Yeah. I actually have a couple interviews on Wednesday.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, one of them is a dispensary, which would be
Dope.
kind of cool.
Although you don't smoke weed anymore.
Right.
You don't need to smoke weed to work at a dispensary.
I'd be like, I smoked enough weed. I know all about
I'm perma-fried, man.
it.
No.
Yeah, straight up.
Smoke so high, I smoke so high? No.
Like, you're hired.
Yeah, you're hired. No.
Yeah. No, and then the other one is like fucking bakery position.
The bakery, man. No.
But yeah, we'll see.
Well, sweet. Hopefully, shit, if my dreams come true, I'll be like, yo, in the next few months, I got a grant for fucking 100,000 to get a warehouse and a business started. I'd be like, yo, James, can you come move down here and help me start
Yeah,
up this business?
right.
Yeah, in my ideal life, I'd be like, yo, we have a rad house, and then James does too, like right next door.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Fuck yeah, dude.
that'd be dope.
Straight up.
Well, shit. I mean, we probably had a long conversation. My computer's telling me I'm running out of space here soon, so
Oh shit. Yeah, I don't even know how long it's been.
I don't know. This doesn't have a little counter, which I'm surprised about.
It's 9:20 and I can't remember what time we started. But yeah,
Probably been 2 or 3 hours, like I guess we usually do.
about usual. We started at 6 something. Yeah, around the same time.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, yeah, dude. This week I have a few people lined up that I'm supposed to chat with, so hopefully they come through. I definitely was supposed to chat with more people that things don't line up all the time, which is fine.
Yeah.
Cause I'm really not trying to do it all the time, every fucking day,
Yeah.
but I have been recently
Mm-hmm.
because just trying to get this baby rolling,
For
get it
sure.
off the ground, and just basically build this Crossroads brand
Yeah.
through time. And that's why I think the Crossroads Community Center, it's just basically, it's the most generic thing, but I'm like, look, man, it's just trying to find an easy thing to bring people together
Mm-hmm.
and
I think it's dope.
set my ego to the side a bit because I've been so fucking full of myself even when I thought I wasn't.
Right.
It's like I've realized how much more is possible if I do make it about like the community and other people and like really creating some jobs where I'm like, look, man, I think I could actually. Like one day I'm like, I want to be able to hire like you and me and my wife on salary,
Mm-hmm.
you know, starting
Fuck
things
yeah,
off.
dude.
Like that would be ideal for me where I'm like, look, man, we got, and maybe a few other people,
Right.
and just be like, look, this is just, we're getting figured out, but hopefully,
Straight up,
you
dude.
never know.
Mm-hmm.
Well, shit, brother. It was a great conversation. Thanks for chatting. I wanted to
Oh yeah,
talk to you
bro.
this weekend, but didn't line
All
up.
good. Yeah.
Um, Yeah, next time we got ourselves lined up and didn't even use the share screen much.
Oh yeah, I know. What did I
Next
even have?
time, we'll get it to the point. We'll get better at this stuff.
Well, it's not that much of a hassle. Like, having shit lined up beforehand makes it pretty smooth.
I'm gonna save things through my week and like prep them,
For sure.
and you know, I'll
Yeah.
try to be a little more. Cause I am eventually trying to do this like every day, where it's like, I go into the community center,
Mm-hmm.
make sure everything's running good. But ideally, I want to be able to be like, we might have some people in the studio, but there's a sound guy that's
Yeah.
getting paid by the hour to
Mm-hmm.
like run engineering, while we
Yeah.
might be up in the studio having a podcast.
Straight up.
I don't know, but
Yeah.
eventually that's the goal.
Yep. Fuck yeah, dude.
But and then still traveling for show, like
Mm-hmm.
with your plans to go to Colorado and everything like that, like I still think that stuff's rad too.
Yeah.
Getting out and traveling, experience the world.
Yep. Hell
Uh,
yeah, bro.
well, hell yeah, brother. Much love. I love you, dog.
Love you too, brother.
Thanks for doing another chat.
Yeah.
We'll just do another one here at the end of the week. I got some people I'm trying to talk to in mid-week, so
Yeah.
then we're coming up on Christmas.
Yep. It's crazy, bro.
Hell yeah, bro. A fucking
End of
new
the
year,
year.
dude.
I
Yeah,
know.
wow, it's gonna be crazy. I'm feeling pretty good about it, though.
Yeah. We'll see.
All right, brother. Well, have a good night, and I'll talk to you again soon.
Word, brother. Sounds good.
All right,
You
peace.
too. All right. Later, bro.